And we are back.
We are.
And brought to you by Draggin Bags.
Back right here.
This spot. Right now. You're in your ear holes. You're listening to us because of Draggin Bags.
Or watching us on Patreon.
We're still in your ear holes, though, Sean.
We are.
Either way. But hey, why not head over to Draggin Bags and show
It's kind
them
of a
your
weird way to say
appreciation?
It's a weird thing to say.
What?
Like we're in your
That
ear
we're coming
holes.
in your ear holes?
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Sorry, continue.
It's all right. You got to come in from the side. But anyways, head over to Draggin Bags to get yourself some fantastic bags. You're going to hear all about Draggin Bags. It's going to be a real heavy episode on Draggin Bags. So Sean's holding up the brand new Charlies. They are sexy AF. So tune in to hear the one and only Large D talking about his bags later on in this episode. But at first, why not go check them out? Head over to dragonbags.com. Drop code BIGASP12 at checkout and pick up the stuff that we're talking about. So head over to Draggin Bags today.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Big Ass Cornhole Show with Sean and Dane, the host you know, talking cornhole life and random fun. Grab a beer, let's get it done. From tossing bags to let's wild ride, tune in and join the party, don't you hide. It's the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast time with Sean and Dane. It's always prime. What Sean has done.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Sean and Dane are with you as always. What's going on, man?
You know, another day. It's time. Let's get after it.
Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. So
We're getting serious now,
all right. So
folks.
busy episode. A whole bunch of dramatic readings. We're going to recap some of the state championships. We have a guest and all that stuff. So before we get into anything, Dane, do what you do best. Let the folks know what we're sipping on tonight in a favorite segment called "What You Drinking."
What you drinking?
Well, we had to bring it back around for the old bourbon samplers here because
We didn't
need
forget
some,
you,
some
Pastor.
catching up. So we got the Weller. You know, it's already poured out, but one for the homies. But Weller Special Reserve. It's delightful. Like, can't say enough about delicious bourbon. It warms your soul. So
Yeah. Shout out to Brian
Yeah.
again.
yeah, again,
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ha ta ta ta. Love it.
Yeah, this is in my wheelhouse. That's nice.
Sure is. Sure
That's
is.
very, very nice.
smooth.
Smooth. All right, so this episode, we have more audio gold planned for you as always. We're going to recap the North Carolina, and I know California had their state championships this week.
Okay.
We have some dramatic readings, and then we're going to be joined by one of our favorite human beings in the whole wide world, Mr. Daniel Lambert, owner of Draggin Bags. He's going to be hopping on with possibly another special guest.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see who pops in and out.
It's going to be a fun episode. So buckle up. Hope you guys are ready. And before we get into all of that, we're going to let you know what's going on in our corner lives. The segment we call In and Around the Hole.
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
And if you're watching the video right now, I know your mind is just blown because we just changed our clothes in a blink of an eye. But it's the next day. So we're back and we're here. So In and Around the Hole stuff. What'd you do this weekend?
So this weekend went out with the in-laws.
Okay.
Hit up Lux Cafe down I think it's like Ohio City area over there by Detroit and stuff. And then went back over, hit up Pins, and then closed the night at Brightside.
Nice.
Then woke up the following morning.
Were our family members working?
Yes, all of them. Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah,
Robbie?
Not Robbie.
Because
He
Robbie
doesn't
doesn't
work
work
there
there
anymore.
anymore,
Yeah,
right?
so,
Okay.
but Cooper, Darby, and Carla.
Sweet.
We're all there. And then Sunday, woke up, went right back out to Ohio City and hit up Westside Market, and then did Hex Cafe for brunch, then came home and hung out.
Nice.
It was nice. Yeah, I was toying with the idea of possibly going up and golfing, and then that went to the wayside. I actually did. I got a workout bench in, so I built that, and actually had a nice workout on Sunday too. So that
While
was,
putting it together? Or you worked
no,
out
it was,
after?
yeah,
Okay.
I
Gotcha.
fully put it together and then proceeded to work out afterwards. I had the motivation.
That's a nice
so-
little weekend you had. Like to see, I'm happy for you.
Yes,
Happy
I know,
you had
I know you're
fun.
jealous.
But yeah, I'm super jealous. Like, it's just like,
You sat here for a while trying to figure out what you did this weekend
Yeah.
because it wasn't worth remembering.
Yeah. Saturday we had basketball game. Nora's cheerleading.
Nice.
And
Did you
then,
cheer him on to victory?
did her team win? Yeah.
Did they win or lose yet?
They have not lost yet. They have like one kid that's just really good, like taller than everyone, just dominates. But yeah, they're doing okay. And then we went to mom and dad's. We taught Nora how to play cribbage the night before. And so she wanted to go challenge dad. And then so we went over there. And then randomly, mom and Val made the mistake of letting me and dad be partners.
Oh,
Just
why would they do that?
ran the table. Yeah. So we won
It's
that.
like when the girls at the lake want to be like, we'll be partners. You guys play
Well,
together.
so
in
Nora
euchre."
started
Yeah.
and Val was helping. And then Nora's like, I'm done. Like after a few hands. So like Val finished the game. And then we were like, you guys, do you want to run it back? And then what do you guys want teams to be? Do you want it to be normal, me and Valerie? And they're like, no, we'll just keep it girls against boys. And we're like, all right. Yeah. They didn't get double skunked, which was nice.
That's good.
Yeah, it was close. So if you're a cribbage player, you'll understand that terminology, but if not,
For sure.
it's a fun game.
Amy's family's euchre, though, slightly different. Still fun.
So Sunday, we just hung around. My wife and the kids went to church. I did not. I opted out of that. I stayed home, just cleaned up the house, right? Just vacuum, do the dishes, just doing all that stuff. So they get back with the kids, and then we're just hanging out. I'm like, you know what? I want to go golf, so I'm going to go book. And unfortunately, they didn't have anything open till like 3:30.
Mm-hmm.
I hit you up, and you weren't doing anything, and it's like 2:45, and Val and my wife starts to get up, and I'm like, where you going? She's like, I'm going to the library. I'm like, oh shit. So she's presenting in 2 weeks some research, and she wanted to work on her presentation. And she needs quiet. So she reserved a room for 2 hours at the library from like 3:30 to 5:30. So I'm like, oh.
You mean she can't find quiet in your house?
No. Great. So I'm like, all right. So I was going to go still, but like, I didn't want to bring Logan.
Yeah.
And like, Nora was not, I was going to end up having to bring both kids. So I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like, it's not going to be enjoyable. It's not. And then we're going to get back late.
Is it worth like the 10 golf swings you're going to get in 2 hours?
No, and then they're going to get back late, and they're going to have to still eat, and then get to bed. It's just going to be a whole thing. So we had to record. So I'm like, you can't. I'm just going to sacrifice myself. But on Monday, I had a little after work fun. So they let us out at 2:30, and we had like a company outing at Topgolf.
Nice.
So it is exactly what you thought it would be. It was a 3-hour party. It was your boy just grinding for about 2.5 hours. By myself,
Like Sean, are you gonna let anyone else have a turn?
So
Fuck off.
So when we all get out there, we had 19 bays. Like the whole bottom was like us. So any bays. So like a few of the people I've worked with for a bunch. We went to one bay, and none of them have ever done it before.
Yeah.
So I went up there, started it all, put everyone's name in there, and it gives you 5 swings at a time. So I go up there, and I went up there full. I brought my own clubs. The only one that brought their own clubs.
Nerd.
Oh, for sure. Like when I was carrying my bag, and I'm like, I feel like a loser right now, but like I want to practice.
I don't
care.
care.
I want my own clubs. So I've changed my swing quite a bit, like over like the last year, really just shallowing it out, all that stuff. And I'm just hitting the ball really well now. It's just fun. Like I was actually like, if you've played Topgolf before, you get bonuses based on like, multipliers, hitting the same pin over and over and over again. So I just gave every time 5 swings, same club, going after the same pin. I was just hitting the ball really well.
Hell yeah.
And no one else there was really a golfer. So it just made me look even better. Apparently, one of the doctors, they were saying before we started, like, oh, Dr. Cousset is a really good golfer. Like he golfs all the time. Like, oh, just because he golfs all the time to be good. But all right.
Yeah.
He's like, he's just like dad. Like he hits it straight, but it's like no more than 200 yards ever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, but it was, and then they wanted to have a contest.
Oh, that's always fun.
Boy, it wasn't close.
Wasn't a contest.
Yeah. After 2 swings, I had already had more points. Like it was fun though. So I got out of work and did that, and then we had our interview yesterday. So you'll hear that at the end of this with one of our favorite human beings ever, Mr. Daniel Lambert. You're going to find all about what's new at Draggin Bags, his take on the State of the Union, and all that kind of stuff. So, and besides that, nothing really, nothing crazy. I wanted to give a shout out to the Schermerhorn clan. Sawyer, their son has been sick, so he was in and out of the hospital. It sounds like he's doing better now. So just wanted to give a shout out.
Yeah.
One of our favorite
guys
dudes.
doing better.
Yeah. Just one of our favorite dudes.
And I didn't want to belittle your triumphs at the Top Golf facility.
Yes.
But I went to the simulator last 2 Tuesdays.
Okay.
So this is Tuesday now. So I was there earlier today. Last week, shot a -2 on through 16 holes.
Okay.
I'm, striping it.
Yeah.
I'm just feeling like I'm a good ball striker, so I feel like simulator golf's good for me.
And again, we were talking about before we started recording. Simulator golf is just a video game.
100%.
You have
I'm
to
a
just
good
learn-
video game player, so like I feel like I've figured it out pretty well.
Yeah, if you can hit a good golf ball and you can play and you figure out the game, like it's actually not bad. Like you were putting phenomenal last time when we were
and
playing.
I've continued as such. Even today, like I rolled 6 1-putts.
Okay.
Like some of them for par, couple birdies.
The hardest part in a simulator golf, if you've never done it, by far is like chipping and putting. Like
Yes.
those typical feel. Like I'm a feel guy when it gets. I'm not shooting it if I'm within 50 yards. If you have 40 yards, that little pitch shot, you're like, oh damn, it's all based on muscle memory.
Yeah.
And when you don't play a lot, that makes it a little difficult. So
But I shot -3 today, made it through 18.
Okay.
And I was with a double bogey and a bogey.
okay,
So I had so many holes where it was a good drive. Second shot was within 4 feet, no putt, birdie. Like that was I hit 2 shots on 6 holes today.
Yeah.
Which was a nice feeling.
well, I feel bad too because like the Cleveland Regional was Saturday. Completely did not know that it was the Saturday. Now I don't think I would have been able to go this weekend,
Yeah,
but still, like I would have made an effort to try.
Yeah, I was pretty much booked all day on Saturday, so
Yeah, it sounds like it.
yeah, had a busy Saturday. I don't know what to tell you guys. Life's flying by.
Yeah, other than that, nothing really new. Just we met up with Mike Carter.
Yes.
The bags were selected.
Man.
All right, so let's talk about this for a
let's
second.
go
All right.
down. Let's get the juices flowing for everybody.
So as of right now, the plan is, and if you follow us on Facebook, and most of you probably do, we're going to be making like the announcements. As of right now, the plan is next Monday, we're going to go live on Facebook, and we're going to kind of do like a bracket reveal. Just who's in each bracket, what the quadrants are, and everything. I'm working with Scoreholio currently and inputting all these bags. What I need your help with is, can we put that into a spreadsheet somehow easily?
yeah.
If I give you the sample, because then if we save it as a CSV, I can upload it to Scoreholio and automatically populates, or else I'm going to have to manually go in and type it. We'll discuss this more after.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we're going to go over the brackets and stuff. We decided to change things up this year. Typically, we've had at least 2 or 3 brackets, right? And it's always been fast or slow. And then last year we introduced hybrid carpet. Upon discussion with the 3 of us, we feel that there's no fast versus slow anymore because the hybrid carpet changed and is so widely popular right now. It just didn't feel like it was justice. And this contest has always been about maximizing exposure for all bag companies, right? We wanted to try to include as many bag companies as we can. So last year we had 2 64-man brackets and a 32-man bracket, but multiple companies had multiple sets of bags. This year we are having one massive bracket.
One mega bracket to rule them all.
So it's going to technically be 2 because on Scoreholio, 64 is the max you can go to. So it's going to be like an East versus West bracket. But the thing is, it is 128 different bag companies.
Unique bag companies, one bag per company.
One bag per company.
One bag to rule them all.
One bag to rule them all.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
This is what this contest should have always been, in my opinion.
So I'm excited. It's just a lot of work. So just follow along on Facebook. As of right now, as long as we get the stream key and all that stuff going, then we're going to be good on Monday. And then with a live reveal and stuff, and Mike's going to join us. So that'll be fun.
I mean, it's kind of funny though. Like this massive contest is now down to battle the companies.
Yeah.
I mean, still bags involved.
I go back and forth. Like I like the idea of going live, but then I'm like, if we record it, we can do more justice in the video aspect of it to post on Patreon and stuff.
We can still record what we put up live too.
We'll see. All right. Okay.
But we can mull it over.
All right.
It's
We'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
See what the timing is.
Yeah. So best of the bag. So if all goes to plan, brackets are going to be released on that Monday, and then we decided we're going to start it. Is it that Friday that we're going to start it, or is it the next week?
It would be. I mean, what
that following Monday?
What day did you want to kick it off?
I can't remember what we decided. I think it was that following Monday.
That'd be like the 7th, I think.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll figure that out.
7th or the 9th.
Yeah, just stay tuned for dates. If you're on Patreon, you kind of are. I'm trying to keep you guys up to date with that
Okay,
stuff.
Battle of the Bags back, baby.
Battle of the Bags, big ass. You're gonna hear a little bit about Dane, but we have a collaboration bag with Draggin Bags that turned out so nice.
Yeah, they're
very nice. I talked to Shane today.
Oh,
So we have,
Look at
if
the
you're
Irish.
available on Thursday night, I'm going to have a call with him.
Okay.
He wanted to know what we had planned, like what if we were still game. I'm like, dude, our flights are booked. We're coming.
fuck yeah.
So it's kind of open up for ideas. So we can either run a tournament or we can record and just, he's going to have boards there and we can just come up with some creative way and maybe they get a discount or we give away prizes kind of thing. So it's up for whatever we want to do.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're going to have a little brainstorming call on Thursday night.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd love to hear because he said they ran a tournament last year.
Yeah, and it was more of just like a fun kind of thing. He said,
which is
so
exactly what I'm down with.
I don't think it was actually like a structured tournament. I think they just had boards out
Okay.
and people were playing. So
That's fine too.
It could also, we can do something to like, if you challenge and you beat us, then you get a beer for free or something in a round
down there, down
kind of
with
thing.
that.
Yeah, I mean something like that. So, and obviously the beers will probably be coming out more as we are there longer.
Yes.
So it's gonna be a long day.
Oh,
Like, I'm
yes.
so excited.
It's gonna be
Like
that's
kegs
gonna
and
be
eggs, like all the way.
forever.
Yes.
and I'm here for it. I mean, that's why we're traveling all the way down.
Like I'm trying to explain to my wife, like you just have to know you're gonna be peeling me off the pavement. Just
Yeah.
I will rise and shine, and we will rock the fuck out of Disney the next day. I promise you.
Yeah, I will. It's light beer all day.
Yeah, correct.
It's gonna fuck me up.
I mean, a
but
few Smittix here and there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
an
light
ale.
beer.
It's
That's
an
light
ale.
beer.
It is.
Yeah.
It's an ale. So
Light
it's. But yeah, so I will rise and shine. I'll rise to the occasion. So
yeah,
it'll be good.
I mean, I don't have any issue rallying. I can pop up like a daisy for anything.
Very true.
I mean, dude, the flights we've had to hit some mornings. We're good. Disney World's easier than go to the airport.
That's true.
Shit.
I'll just eat like crazy. You know what I mean? Like eat sober.
Oh,
up
you mean
and
I can
just-
still get more alcohol?
Yeah, correct. Yes, you're correct. I'm just gonna ride a steady buzz all the way until I get home.
Yeah, I don't have to be sober till Thursday. All right,
Yeah.
count on it.
So that's fun. All right. So this past weekend, there were a bunch of stuff. There's Cleveland Regional.
Yeah.
But the two bigger tournaments this weekend, you had the North Carolina State Championships, and then you had the California State Championships, but it was one of those like interstate ones that they can run. Like they can run two like state-based tournaments.
So
One of
it's
them
like
could be. It's kind of like an
Northern
open.
California.
No, it's kind of like it was kind of an open. Basically, it's open to any state.
Okay.
But it's like one of the state-based like big tournaments they can run.
Okay.
So it's a pretty loaded bracket. North Carolina, obviously a very strong conference. There's a lot of talent that's come out of there before. Obviously, Jamie Graham comes out of there. Gore brothers. You have young rookies coming in like Wilson this year that you got to look out for. You have Derek Holland. You know what I mean, so it's a very, very rich Eric Davis. You know what I mean, like a lot of big names come out of that area. So when you come to a state championship, again, as every month we get closer to the start of the season, again, you want to see who's trending the right way. But you don't stay hot forever.
No.
So you almost don't want somebody to get super hot unless you can be like Jeremiah Ellis.
'Cause we
You
still
win
got a couple
everything
months,
and then
like-
you peter off. But if you do enough in the beginning of the season, it still counts.
Exactly. Yeah.
So with that being said, in singles in the North Carolina State Championship, Jackson Gore remains red fucking hot.
Kids killing
Coming off of
it.
winning an open, then he comes and wins his bracket, come like second or third overall, and then he follows it up with another win over Jamie Graham for North Carolina State Championship. The kid's throwing really well. He's got confidence again, and he seems to be a little bit more level-headed these days. And I think in like the maturity has done wonders for him.
Yeah.
And he's back grinding, and he wants to be back on top. And I mean, he went 8-1 on the day. And it's a pretty
Disgusting.
good fucking run.
Yeah.
Jamie Graham took second place. You followed up with Eric Davis. Fourth place was Quincy Weish. Fifth place is Fath Sem, a very sneaky guy that I don't think gets enough
He doesn't
notoriety.
get enough love.
Yeah, because he's a sneaky assassin type
He's
player.
gonna be he'll be in the top 10 PPRs at the end of the season.
Him and Kaylee Hunter had a very
kills
solid
it.
season last year in doubles. I don't think he did quite as well as people thought in singles, but he's a very good player. Also tied for fifth, you have Derek Holland, and then you had tied for seventh, you had Clayton Arch and Kaylee Hunter. Jacob Gore tied for ninth.
All right.
So in doubles,
Gauntlet.
familiar name, the Gore brothers,
Look at that.
twin terrors are back. Jackson and Jacob Gore take it down over Hunter and Fath Sem. In third place, we had Jamie Graham and Derek Holland. If you see them on paper, you think they're definitely the favorites going into that tournament.
Yeah.
for sure. But But it is what I mean. Listen, Jackson Gorge is playing lights out, man, right now, and it's fun to see. I hope he continues it on going forward. 4th place, we had Mike Wright and Maurice Smith. 5th place, we had Frank Modlin and Taylor Gardner and Clayton Arch and Josiah Arguin. So I did not realize Josiah was out of North Carolina.
I didn't know that either.
Okay,
I mean,
so again, he's playing well, taking 5th in doubles, going back. Duncan Clemmer, good to see that name still up there. He's tied for 7th.
Is that really up there though?
Yeah, no, but I mean something. And if we move over to the California State Championships in singles, Tony Forbes continues to dominate. He already won a pro tournament last year, the first time as an elite player, taking that down. I mean, the kid's really impressive.
That he is. I mean, he's starting off scary good right now.
He beats another impressive Julius Reyes Jr., very solid player. Tony Smith made the trip out there. 9-2 on the day. Tony Smith just kind of grinding through it. Maybe didn't have his A game, but just anytime he's on the boards, it's tough.
Still getting 9 wins against this gauntlet.
Correct.
It's pretty damn impressive.
Another young gun. I'm putting him right up there with Tony Forbes. The college level player, Spencer Fabinar.
For sure.
The dude's just really good, and like every tournament, it seems he's always like top 7 somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he's just always in the mix, and when he finally really puts it all together, that's gonna be trouble. You had Hunter Thorne. It's good to see that name again. Last year, going into the season, we finally felt like, is Hunter Thorne ready to take that next step? I'd argue maybe a baby step back last year, but you want to start seeing this name creeping up the leaderboards as we get close to the season. He's still immensely talented. It's just he's at that point in his life. Where is this in your life? Like, is this still the priority? Is this still like you want to make money doing this? You want to live this game?
Well, I think it'll show. I think it'll show throughout the season.
Yeah,
because if it's is he going to finish in that top tier, which I think he's capable of if he takes it very serious.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But he's not like a shoe-in for a top 100.
No, he's not. But I feel
like
like if he puts in the work, he could definitely have a shot.
Yep. Also tied for 5th, Mark Lopez. In 7th place, another name that I don't think he necessarily gets enough credit for just how long he's been able to qualify every single year. And he's just kind of always in the mix. David Morse,
100%.
It always seems like 1 or 2 tournaments a year. He kind of makes a big splash.
Just a
gets
solid
enough points.
player.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's just been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a pro for a long time. He's seen it all. You know what I mean? So I don't think anything really rattles him. So, all right. So we have in doubles, 2 names I'm not super familiar with. We have Donovan Vasquez and then Richard Nyberg. 2nd place, we had Julius Reyes Jr. and Ethan Farias. So that's a pretty solid team right there.
Yeah.
3rd place, the beautiful Andrew Labrador.
Gorgeous.
And Danny Fernandez. I mean, I'm sure you're really good looking too, but we know Andrew's.
Yeah, we're just going to say, yeah.
So
Labs
I wonder,
has got the
did
goods.
he divorce? Like, are him and Nick like no longer friends? Like, just
Don't
that's-
say it.
wow.
Say it ain't so.
Wow. I was gonna send out like a search party for Nick just because I hadn't heard from him, but then he liked something on Instagram the other day, so I'm like, all right, at least I
He's
know
fine.
he's still alive.
He's
Or somebody
safe.
hacked his account.
That's true.
Somebody might have
We're
hacked his
assuming you're
account.
safe,
Yes.
Nick. Blink twice if you're safe.
4th place, we had Angel Velasquez and Noah Velasquez. Valenzuela. Yeah.
Valenzuela.
And then 5th place, you had Hunter Thorne and Tony Forbes, Dan McDowell, and Stanley Lovett. Sorry, it's a little far away. All right.
All right. Is it time for
We have a whole slew of stuff.
Dramatics?
And there was just really good content, I thought, this week that was posted. Some like really good questions. So, and just some good shit talking. So
It's always fun.
let's start off with the shit talk.
In a world where bean bags have brought men to their knees, social media serves as sanctuary for keyboard warriors. Time for the dramatic readings.
Addicted to cornhole. Michael Calderes. I can't buy products from people who are scum. If you throw cats, you're giving your money to selfish people. I don't care. They have screwed all of you. But you still buy? Why? I'll say this. The people behind this company aren't worth it. I don't care. Come at me.
Come at me, bro.
And he did. I mean, he had 203 comments. I mean, by the time I found this, like, it was already blowing up.
Hell yeah.
I mean, listen, we know from personal experience. There was another post of somebody from the Kitty Cat Army calling him a clown.
Yeah.
And all I did was comment under it. It's like, oh, we got the kitty community all riled up again. It doesn't take much.
Yes.
You one little post criticizing them, and then, oh my God, like they come out and droves.
Claws come out.
Let's put facts where facts are. It's not like they're completely innocent. I'm actually kind of surprised they never got in trouble with all the stuff with Cameron Jones.
True.
There was shit going on behind the scenes that they clearly probably knew about, I'm assuming. You know what I mean? There was some weird shit with selling bags with the raffles. You know
And
what I
are
mean?
you
Like
assuming,
that
though?
secret club that people would pay X amount just to get ahead. Like, I mean, like there's always been something there. So let's not pretend that they're like completely 100% honest, great fucking people. Like, it's just not. Like, there's been too many things that have happened in the past to give them 100% pass.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what he's referring to in this. Maybe he didn't get bags. I don't know. But let's not pretend, cat community, that they're completely squeaky clean. It's not the case. Do they make nice bags? They do. Now the fact that she's making the bags again, I've heard the bags are great.
I mean, that's definitely.
But when they
good
weren't,
plus,
when
but-
they got too busy and they couldn't handle it, and the bag quality dipped down. But the quality of the bags never really been an issue when they're making them. They're great bags. I mean, one of my highest rated bags of all time is still the Friction. It's still one of my favorite bags ever. It's a great bag, but there's been some shit in the years.
Yeah.
I don't know. And she won't come on the show. So I've tried.
I mean, you've been very nice to her
I've tried
several times.
Yes. And it was at the last open I saw her.
Yeah.
And we talked for a few minutes. I'm like, so when are you finally going to come on the show? And she just doesn't want to. But
She's, just like Jared Nash.
which is fine. It's all good.
We'll call you both out.
Next.
Ooh, this is the long one.
Do you want this one? Or you want me to do it?
Novel. We can.
Okay,
we
so
can
hold on.
interchange.
Before we do this, let's give a little backstory because I think we can start on the next one.
Okay.
All right, so a little backstory is this guy, his name's Dan Thompson. He started playing cornhole 2.5, 3 years ago. Went to his first blind draw, got paired up with a pro who was not very nice to him.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the backstory. If you start the next one over, yeah, right there. Yeah, go ahead and start right there.
Okay. This post was a result of last night when yet again I witnessed the same ACL pro and now a quote-unquote ambassador do the same exact thing to a first-time thrower at a local game. He almost said the same thing verbatim to the individual and bragged to someone that he told that guy before. The big problem came from the fact that the first-time thrower didn't care who he was and told him what he could go do. He then quit and refused to throw with the first timer in their second game of the bracket. He also demanded his $20 back from the tournament director, complaining about the wheel spin and how he was coming to practice for events this weekend. I'm all for pros coming to games. It's a great measuring stick. I've also had met a few over the years, many very encouraging and helpful, especially if they see you struggling. I don't know all their preparations for their tournaments, but I'm pretty sure asking people at local games why they suck so bad and why they signed up isn't growing the game. I've been through many life events over the past 2 years, deaths, unemployment, my own poor mental health, but there's been quite a few people there to pick me up for my cornhole family. Honestly, don't even want to imagine where I'd be right now had I quit 2 years ago. This game is way more than bags. They say you can't choose your family, but I 100% have.
Okay, so I thought that it was very good of him to not publicly call out who was there.
Yeah,
Respect, number one, right?
for sure.
It would have been very easy for him just to publicly just put it in this post, bashing somebody. All right.
Yeah.
And honestly, it wasn't even bashing him. He was just recounting what happened.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, he's just
His own
saying
personal experiences.
literally personal experience. Like,
Now he did in the comments. Somebody asked him, "Who was it?" And
Yeah.
he commented. He said, "Chucky Love." Now I can tell you from not from firsthand experience, but I can definitely see that happening.
unfortunately, yes.
I know, and I like Chucky, and we've had obviously our run, we've had our issues with Chucky in the past when we try to have some fun. So I'm trying to
We never had issues with Chucky.
Yes.
Let's get that straight.
That's true.
Other people had issues with us talking about Chucky.
Yeah.
So here we are again. I'm sure we'll get some comments back. I just want to say again, I respect Chucky and what he's done in the game.
Yeah.
But there's no room for this kind of shit in there. You've been around the game long enough. You know, going to a blind draw, there's a good chance that you could get paired with somebody that's never fucking played before.
Yeah. And I can't lie. Like the fact that he told somebody like that, you know, allegedly, well, right, we'll say allegedly told somebody like they suck. Like, why do you even bother showing up? The fact that the person went back at them, and basically told them where he could put it, I kind of love that. Because like, guess what? We forget because we're wrapped up in our world in like the cornhole community that like a guy like Chucky Love is like a big deal, right? He's a pro player. He's a legend in the game. Like he's been awesome. Like he's been on ESPN how many times? Like awesome player, right? Very well liked around the league. Mm-hmm. If you just walk in the room and some guy with like earmuffs on is telling you like that you suck, like who the fuck are you?
Honestly, if Chucky Love would say that to me, I would literally say that to him anyways. I don't give a fuck if you're an ACL pro. What the fuck is that in this world?
But you get what I'm saying? Like somebody that brand new to the like they don't care.
Exactly.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, but even to this day, I don't think it holds any clout in the real world.
Unless you're trying to get in like Shamar Moore's house, it does not matter.
Exactly.
If you're an ACL pro,
yeah,
I
could care less.
I love it, and and the people in this community love it. But if we want this game to get to the height we want guys like Chucky Love pulling in like enough money to like make a true living at doing this, so he doesn't have to go to the local blind draw.
Yeah.
Well, it starts with getting people to enjoy the game. Mm-hmm. If you're shitting on their first experience, they're never going to come back. And especially if you're an ACL pro, it is your motherfucking responsibility to try to grow the game. It is. When you sign, it's the same thing when I used to coach, when we would go out of town as a team. Mm-hmm. And I would tell each and every player, and I look them in the eyes, I'm like, when you walk out of this here and we go to this restaurant, you are representing the fucking school. Whoever's on your chest, that's what you're representing. So if you do anything negative, I'm going to hear about it, and then you're going to hear about it. It's the same thing as your ACL. Like, I'm sure they've talked about like conduct with the pros and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But like this kind of stuff, to me, ultimately, if they find that it's true, it should lead to some sort of like suspension or something. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like it should be like something detrimental to the overall game.
And I don't want to just pick on Chucky.
No.
Because
I'm not,
he's
this
not
is
alone.
Not just him. No,
yes,
exactly.
There are many pros that have been called out on this kind of shit before. Correct. So like, I just don't understand. It's a blind draw. It's literally gambling. You don't know who the fuck you're going to get. That's the point of it.
And listen, I understand that you like people are competitors. More than anybody, I understand that. To the point where don't be a dick. And like if you're that good,
you're the fucking pro.
Does it really matter? Like as long as you're handling your shit, guess what? If you're there to truly practice, then fucking practice, man.
But we do know, even if like you are a pro and you're throwing 12s against 10s every single round, and your partner's never thrown before against somebody that's throwing a 7 PPR,
I get it.
They're going to score a lot more points. So
tough shit.
Exactly. That's how I feel too. It is what it is. I've been paired with that newbie so many times that I'm numb to it.
I just assume that I'm going to get paired with somebody that's never played before.
To me, I'm just like, hey, we're going to establish this now. If like when we lose, we're going to go get a beer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Afterwards, and then you're gonna buy it.
Yeah. Correct. As long as there's that mutual understanding.
Yes, exactly. You're gonna buy my beer for me, and then maybe I'll get you after the second game, but probably not, because I'm gonna grab my bags and dip out real quick.
Correct.
But
correct.
But
again, that's not like I'm not personally attacking Chucky.
No.
I'm saying this is a pro, and again, this is not every pro, but there are some that are just not like approachable. They're just not. Again, you're an ambassador.
And it's okay to not be approachable. Like you don't have to be like, but
don't be an
cornhole.
asshole.
Exactly. You just
be nice.
Yeah, dap them up. Be like, hey, it's all right, bro. Like, get them next time.
We'll get them next time. Here,
you don't have to become best friends with them.
Do you want me to show you a thing or two? No, you're good. All right. Well, I'll see you at the next match. Like, it's not worth saying something.
Exactly.
Like, does that make you feel good about yourself?
Hurt people, bro.
I guess. All right. Next.
Hey-o.
Another doozy from Addicted to Cornhole. John Q. Cornhole.
Ooh.
20% off its pros can play full time? That's got to be an exaggeration, right? If it was that case, so many pros wouldn't have stepped away from the game this season. And he was referring to an ad. It looks like FOS, like online subscription or something. The surprisingly lucrative world of professional cornhole. Cornhole is becoming a growing professional sport. The ACL commissioner estimates roughly 20% of its pros can play full time.
Okay.
Now, listen, I've made fun of ACO before when the commissioner makes dumb statements. This is a dumb statement.
Yes.
There's no way you have 20%. There's not
No.
full-time people.
No, not a chance.
I would say that you can probably say, now, if he's making that projection off of we're going to be down to 100 pros, and I think 20% of those guys, then I can believe it. That's 20 of them. Yeah, it's probably what the number is right now. There's no way it's 20%.
Yeah.
Do you have people that this is hard because do you still consider them playing full time but not having a job? If they're not trying to work but they're not actually making money playing cornhole.
So,
You know what I mean?
that's my thing. Is like, is it lucrative if you're just only able to travel for cornhole and have to live this meager life?
And here's my other thing is
blind draw to blind draw.
what's lucrative,
Yes.
right? And are you talking about just the amount of money they can win? But then you also have to cancel out the money spent to travel and feed yourself and all that kind of stuff. It's like, what's lucrative?
Yeah.
Like again, it's just a cover. It's just a headline.
Or are we reading this wrong? Because it does say the ACL commissioner estimates roughly 20% of its pros can play full time. Maybe they just choose not to.
That's true. Maybe the inflection's the wrong part.
Right?
Yeah, that's very true. Honestly, it is. That's crazy how just one inflection changes the whole meaning of the statement.
Just saying.
I mean, if we're being fair, that
could be
yes.
what he meant. He's like, I could see 20% being able to play full time if they really wanted to, but some people, I mean, you can chop up a quote and leave it in any way you want. So maybe that's what he's going for on it, but
maybe. That's solid.
But at least we agree that 20% is absurd right now because it's not the case.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Like I liked your number of 20.
Yes.
I think that's probably fairly accurate.
See.
And of those 20, maybe 5 are actually like living pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
Next. All right.
Yep.
You want me to read this one?
Why don't you?
Addicted to cornhole again. Jay Cushing. I think a PSA needs to be made. I don't care if it's an 8-8 wash, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean it goes in at 12 on 12. Bumping your fake stats isn't really how this works. Okay, that's all. Carry on.
All right, so yeah, I mean it's definitely a thing in the professional league that's known. Like if it's a professional tournament or anything, like you can't do it. Like they
Ask Jordan Kamba how that went.
Okay,
all right.
I obviously Kamba's got to hate when posts come out because he knows he's going to hear something about it. It was not just Kamba. We need to remember that.
No.
There were like 3 or 4 people that just nobody cared about. But they were also not invited to come back because they did the same fucking thing. So, like, I think that is very important.
Kamba was just the one that mattered
Correct.
at the time. So they're like, we kind of have to make an example out of him.
Correct. I mean, he was just former world champion. You know what I mean? Like, it was a big deal at the time. So, but yeah, at the time, like, it was behind the scenes. Like, there were several other people that did that stuff.
Yes.
Who else was it that year? But they only
Matt
got suspended.
Stout?
Yes, Matthew Stout, because he only got suspended for singles that year. Yeah. Yeah. So it was, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was clear. It wasn't just him. It's all done. And we've all seen it done.
Yes, 100%.
Scoreholio tried to combat that by flashing the scores after every time.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will stand there an excessively long time, kind of wait, and then move over the way. My thing is, it should not matter to you, brother. Like, I know people just want their stats to seem better, but like if you climbed your stats all the way up to, let's say, like an 8-9, right?
Yeah.
And you're so close to 9. But then you go and then you just suck. You know what I mean? Like it's not authentic. Like you earn it. Exactly. It's the same thing with golf, right? Like
100%.
I wanted to know what my handicap was. So it's so easy to just put another ball down, hit another mulligan. It's fine. Just hit a mulligan. It's fine. I know what's going to see.
Oh, I'm not going to play that one.
Yeah.
Oh, but you put it 5 feet away. Yeah, I'm going to put that.
Yeah, exactly. It could be
birdie.
so easy to do, but yeah, you gotta stay true to yourself.
Exactly.
All right, I think we got one more.
Bing.
Addicted to cornhole? Chad Mosby.
I thought it was Chet Mosley.
Any tips for TSA/flying with cornhole bags? Last time it was dicey getting through security, and they almost confiscated mine since I wasn't willing to let them cut them open. They did some sort of chemical wipe test and let me through, but it was a bit tricky, and I'd like to know if there's a better way to do this. Cornhole bags look super sus on an x-ray. So so first of all, the first comment, I'm going to give a credit, Gregory
That's
Downs.
great, yes.
I'm so happy this was the first comment because it says strap them onto your chest under a double D brassiere, claim that you're transitioning, make them pat you down. Like that's fucking hilarious. Love that. Okay, so I think this is important. Again, this is a cornhole show. If you're new to the game and you're like, oh shit, I want to travel, this is something you should know.
There are things you should
travel all the time for this, right? And we travel with bags frequently. The best thing to do is you take them. You can put them in your checked luggage. It's fine. But we typically don't check bags.
Yeah.
We primarily try to travel light. So our bags are with us. The best thing to do is have the bags out when you get to security. If you're through TSA, I've never really had an issue. They're going to wipe them down though.
Yes.
But you can save yourself the whole hassle of them having to unzip everything because guess what? They're going to check them.
Yeah, so even when they yell at you to not take those out and put them in, I always just tell them, like, you're going to do this anyway, so let me just put these in its own fucking case
Correct.
and send it through.
Yeah, I don't listen to anybody. I just put I put all 4 bags in a separate basket, and that way I get all my other stuff. And I know they grab the basket, and they pull it aside, and I just wait there. And then they pull the basket over. Whose stuff is this? And I walk over, and I explain to them, like, they're cornhole bags.
Yeah.
And I always try to wear some sort of cornhole attire, right? Whether it's a hat or our podcast shirt, just so I have some sort of like, is it necessary? Probably not. 99% of them have never given a shit. They come over, they do a little bomb test on all 4 of them. Takes 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm through TSA. If you have TSA pre-check, again, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it's been, not to sound bougie, but like I don't know how it's been through normal security. It's the same thing.
Same. Yeah.
So as long as you put it separately,
separate.
they're going to wipe them down. And if
So
they,
honestly,
it's no big
I've
deal.
only had mine wiped down once.
They've never once threatened to cut my bags open.
Yeah. They've never pulled the white set to the side. That white set of
Oh, they
Power
haven't?
Dragons.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never had that one swabbed ever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder why that is.
I don't know.
But they do look very sus on.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
On
You
the next
see all
tray.
these little, like,
Because I asked him the
and
one
shit in there,
time,
yeah.
I asked the guy, I'm like, why do these always get flagged? He's like, you want to see what they look like? I'm like, yeah, kind of. So he showed me the picture. I'm like, oh, sweet. I'm like, all right, I can kind of see
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
He's like, we just got to make sure. I'm
This
like,
looks like a
I get it, man.
foreign substance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
I get it, brother.
Rather be
Yeah,
safe than sorry.
for sure. Yeah. So honestly, that's my best advice.
Yeah. I mean, and
Just have them out and ready.
And, I've heard of people just still had them cut open. Just ask them to do it on the seam. And don't let any of the resin out.
I don't think. That seems very like.
Again, but it depends on what airport you're in. If you're like flying out of a small airport or something, they might be on a power trip and be like, we're cutting these open. Like, you never know. So if it does happen, just ask for them to snip along the seam. You can always reclose it.
You'll lose all that fill though.
Well, you put it back in. It's not like they're going to take the fill.
No, I know, but like what? I mean, where it's going to be just pouring all over the place then.
Find a
In your
way.
bag?
You'd be like, you guys give me a bag now to put my bag in there.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if anyone's bags have ever been cut open before at the airport because I've heard of people like them threatening it, but like they've only ever just wiped the bags
Yeah.
down.
Most of the time, I feel like the people that get threatened to have them cut open were like dickheads.
Yeah.
They're just fucking cornhole bags, bro. Like, yeah, like.
And we've gotten smart too. So I've taken the recording stuff with me now.
Yes.
So I go through pre-check because like it's basically they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You just put the stuff down, you get through, you're done. Easy as that. So hell yeah. All right.
Hell yeah.
You want to cue the rap horn?
I guess.
Do it. Wow.
Yeah, right.
If you're driving right now, I'm so
just,
sorry.
just felt real cool on that
Just
one.
like to woke him up a little bit.
Bingo.
All right, so you can reach us at Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok at Big Ass Cornhole.
And on Facebook at the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Thanks again to Draggin Bags.
You're
about
gonna
to
hear
hear,
about- yeah.
about to hear a whole bunch about them right after this, but just know we love you. You guys should love them too. Head over to dragonbags.com. Drop code BIGASS12 at checkout. Save yourself some money because they're fucking sweet.
Yep. And if you're looking to support the show, we would greatly appreciate it. And you can do so over at patreon.com/Big Ass Cornhole. And for the price of a beer a month, you can help us keep doing the show. Allows us to bust out more content.
Hell yes, it does.
So we're
Hell yeah, brother.
Again, the next trip we have planned right now is we're going to Orlando in March. And
Oh,
then
but hang on. We do have a cousin golf outing too.
Oh, we do have a cousin
that's scheduled now, so that's going to be fun. We're going to get content on that bitch too.
You're going to hear a little bit more about this, but the Melissa Lambert tournament, the benefit tournament is up again. We're going to try to
figure it out. Yeah, I don't know.
We got to check flights and stuff.
And go from there.
But yeah, we might be going down to where's that this year?
Amarillo.
That's right. Yeah, so we might be going down for that, which I really would like to make. The only problem is it's on my wife's birthday.
That's tough.
And it's like, here's my thing: is if she was to travel on my birthday, I don't care. I'm 38 years old. I don't need to it's just a day now. You know what I mean? Like,
now, luckily, you will be taking her to Disney World.
I know,
like 2 weeks prior, so maybe you could get away with it. And we're trying to make this thing a real quick trip again.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Dude, I mean, we could potentially do 2 trips to Texas and only be in Texas for like
2 days,
less than
yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And then I'm trying to think what else. I think that's it right now.
Then
we're just trying to figure out.
Bags coming.
If you're listening to this and you'd be interested in going on some sort of like golf trip, and we're thinking like October-ish.
Yeah, I was thinking like September, October.
If you've seen on Facebook before, Michelle Thompson, and I think it's Rosie Streaker primarily.
Okay.
They've done like these women retreats
where
they rent out like a big ass house, they get a chef and stuff, and then they do whatever women do on retreats and stuff. Like it's like a cornhole retreat. What we were thinking is making it a guy retreat, and we would golf during the day, and we'd have boards there, and we would just do games at night.
Just a nice weekend. And
so we're trying to price some stuff out, and there's some stuff that's pretty affordable.
For
so
sure.
If you're interested, let us know.
Actually.
We would like to try to plan something sooner than later so we can get the pricing out to everyone where we're at. But yeah, I mean, we'd probably like around 12 guys is what we're looking for.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah,
like,
so if you're interested at all, just message us and just let us know, and we'll kind of keep you in the loop.
Like-minded individuals,
yeah, for sure.
People that like to golf.
Yeah,
and play
should be fun.
cornhole.
Should be fun. I know we were going to try to plan it. We were actually thinking about just trying to make it like an extended trip for Reggie Reich's Clash. But I know you're going to be out of town already.
TBD. We're still trying to figure out.
Okay.
Like, I don't even think the wedding date is officially set yet. So, like, I need to figure. It's right around there, but I might be able to just have 2 weekends away. We'll see.
Okay, I was going to say, because if that's the case, like, we should just try to do it then. Like, I feel like.
For sure. It's up in the air right now. Okay. I'll let you know.
Fair enough. Yeah, so
we got time.
All right, so hope you guys enjoy the interview coming up. Dan Lambert is one of our favorite dudes. Obviously, he sponsors the show, but he's just become a friend over the years.
He's
just a really insightful
one
guy.
of the great ones in the game.
Yeah, and listen, he's very successful outside of cornhole too. So he just kind of brings a different ideas into like how to run cornhole businesses, and I think that you're going to hear about it more. So when we talk about this bag at the end here, but hope you guys enjoy it. Seen the TGL stuff, like you have to be like a golf lover for sure. Like, I don't know, I thought it was entertaining. The problem is none of the matches have been close yet, so it's been like blowouts on either side. I'm hopeful.
You almost feel bad when you're watching it.
I'm through 4 holes right now and it's tied.
Yeah.
So like it's entertaining, and like they're actually playing well. But like the first time that Tiger was on, one of his partners, Kisner, right, super entertaining dude, was like, it was actually near and dear to my heart because it was like one of us.
Yeah.
Like he can't hit a long ball. You know, I mean, he was chunking the shit out of everything. And that's what he was talking about this week. He's like, it's weird hitting off these turf mats. You know, even if it's grass, like it's still mats under there. But
some of these guys dig way down in their
Yeah.
Like when they're hitting the ball. So like I can imagine
But,
it
like,
kind of bouncing different for
Dan,
them.
you're a golf guy. You'd like it. You know what I mean? Like, in getting to see some of the guys as characters is fun. Like Rory McIlroy is actually he's actually kind of
That's
funny.
honestly what I love most about it is the
Oh,
access
yeah.
to the players.
Like Tiger Woods talking shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Awesome.
And then you have Kisner just like, it just never shuts up. You know what I mean? Just like a motor mouth, just running his mouth. But it's cool to see guys like Rory drive the ball.
Yes.
And you see their stats. Like, God damn, like just a casual, easy drive was 198 ball speed.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean 330 carry. It's just unreal. Like,
I'm
just,
like I could
I could
breathe
dream.
on 180.
I could dream. But speaking of long drives,
Yeah, I figured the personalities might come out at that and might make that's what really might make the show better was the personality and shit talking and getting to see them a little bit differently than you do every week out on the tour.
well, you can see him taking it seriously.
Yes.
Like, and that's where, and it's the same thing with
but
like
it's
the cornhole.
The team atmosphere.
It's the
is
same thing
nice,
with
yeah.
cornhole teams. Like when they take it seriously, it's fun. Like you pick up on the vibe. So like you do kind of get it. It's tough. It's alternate shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like
Not easy.
Yeah. So I mean, I think there are certain teams like Tiger's team is just going to really struggle if Kisner's in there.
Very true.
Yeah, I mean, so that's just going to be.
There's an entertainer, and
He is though. He is an
commentator.
entertainer, 100%. But and he is a professional golfer. I mean, he's won on the tour before. You know what I mean? Like so, and he's been in deep for
We
majors.
swear.
Yeah, I know. I mean, so it is what it is. But all right. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're welcome back, I guess. We have one of our favorite human beings in the whole wide world, Mr. Daniel Lambert, owner of Draggin Bags, joining us. What's going on, man?
How much? Another day, another dollar.
You have some. If you're watching this on Patreon, you can appreciate this right now. But just in front of him, let me paint you a picture. You have 3 just really sexy bags up there.
Oh.
You have the unreleased Big Ass collab bags, which I can't wait. We haven't decided. I guess we'll find out this episode.
I mean, the
when-
fact that
when
if
we're
you don't
gonna
have
go.
Patreon, it's worth just seeing Dan's
Yes.
hands on them.
And what do you want to name what's the middle design? What are we going with? The BBC?
Well, officially on the website, on the order form, it's just the Rooster bag, but it's been affectionately known and posted already multiple times as the BBC.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's a giant black rooster.
That thing is,
So
I mean,
use
it's a
your
statement.
imagination.
All right? You see it through gray sweatpants. It's,
Yes.
it's phenomenal.
Yeah, so it is. They are all sweet looking bags. So I think I've been impressed with your designs recently, just because we not just going back and forth with ours, but just like just the designs you have out this year. Do you enjoy doing like the creative process?
I do. I've always enjoyed art. I drew as a younger guy. I did a lot of drawing. When I went to college, I was going to go be an art major, and
Okay.
I've always enjoyed the creative process. And now, with the online tools and the things you can do, and the
It's
AI
like cheating.
out there, and the different, it's awesome.
It really is.
It's awesome. So yeah, I like doing it. There's a lot of a lot of people take the AI stuff and just they'll make a picture out of AI and throw it on a bag. I try not to do that. I may have elements of the bag that are AI.
Mhm.
Like the cock AI, right? But
It makes sense.
Then try to do some other stuff. This one was like blended with 5 different backgrounds, and there's all kinds of cool stuff on this one. I was able to try
There
a
is.
bit, but yeah, I enjoy doing the design work and trying to come up with stuff that's creative and different, while keeping, as always, with the normal bags, keeping the brand,
For sure.
keeping the
Clean.
brand present in
Yeah.
most of the ones we do.
Well, we've also talked about it before. Like when you did decide to rebrand and stuff, the new logo, it's sick. I mean, it's just more mass appeal.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to love like dragons and fairies to
Yeah, I mean,
Draggin
it's-
Bags anymore.
It's understand. It's Draggin Bags.
For sure. So we're excited. The last regional we were at, we ended up playing Adam Hissner first round of doubles, like we typically do. So we decided why not? It's a perfect opportunity. So we busted out the Charlies for it. Brand new, out of the box. In warm-ups, I gotta say, it's the flattest bag I've ever thrown in my life.
Oh, yeah.
And I was money. So much so that I talked him into using brand new bags. I'm like, dude, if I have to throw against Adam, you might as well let me throw the bag I'm stroking with, and it's these bags right here. And then I played Adam, and I just fell apart.
Well, so we were
it's
just
like,
hoping somebody was gonna be live streaming it so they could just see the bags at
Yeah, yeah,
least.
correct.
Get a little day in the sun. But
Correct.
yeah, honestly, the more I throw them, though, the more you just fall in love with it. It's I love, man.
So-
I'm excited to let this one rip. here next
do we
turn.
have a release date for the Charlies yet?
Yeah, we'll release Friday.
Sweet.
And we'll have them at the Albuquerque Open at the booth.
Hell
Oh, yeah.
They'll release online Friday as well. So, and we are doing the regular, the version you guys got's our regular, right? That's the one I made up. It's a regular, and it's a thick bag. If you
It
like,
is.
if you like them thick, that's a thick bag in the regular. But we're also doing the L's, which I would say, the L's probably going to be closer to the regular size of the Power Dragon, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be a super thick bag. It's not going to be as thin as like the Power Dragon lights, but it's a little bit thinner.
Is it just
I
the
think, a lot
fill?
of
Is it
people
just
are
like
probably gonna
more
enjoy it.
flat disc then?
Yeah, it's just different weights, right? We
Okay.
say the lighter weighs less, and we use less of the resin, and the heavier use more of the resin. So, but I think the L's are probably going to be the most popular between them. But a lot of people like the thick bag, so I'm sure we'll sell them. And also that material on the bottom. Some of the other bags that I've received over time that have had that same hybrid carpet on the bottom of it, that stuff gets pretty loose. So I kind of intentionally made a thicker bag, just knowing that that bottom, hybrid carpet was going to get pretty loose. The top seems to be holding up well, though. It's not stretching much, and so even the thick bag that because I've been playing with my set that I sent you guys, for a couple of months now, and it's and some of the other people have been playing with it, and it's held up nice.
Well, I threw in California. I threw the broken in set of Charlie's, like the demo set, and I told people like
super broken.
Yeah, and that was like when I was only exclusively throwing Power Dragons, and I threw this, and I'm like, I gotta say, it's a little bit more controllable. I kind of like it. You know what I mean? Like, I just felt like it was a little bit more versatile. The slick side is deceiving when you first get it, because you see it and you're like, oh, this is going to be ludicrous, but it actually is very controllable. It's more of like I want to say it's like an 8 eventually.
It's a great speed for doing what you intend it to.
Yeah,
like
correct.
if you needed to push something and you intend on throwing that low bag, it's a good speed that's not just going to like catapult you off the back of the board, which is something that I do like.
Yeah.
So I was always a fan of having like a 4-7.
And I think it's like every other bag. The conditions you're playing in are gonna make a difference. But I've found that fast side to be pretty quick. I can throw the same normal toss I'm throwing on the other side, and I can push 2 bags in. Right? I don't have to go crazy with it. It'll push them in. I like it. I think I think people are going to enjoy it once they give it a chance, break it in, and play with it. Because I do think it's good. This hybrid carpet's going to be a little bit slower than the Power Dragon. I think when it's broken in, I think it's probably closer to a 5 than it is a 6 once it's broken in. So you're kind of playing a 5-9, bag, which I kind of love. But we did the blended resin in this one, so we've got 3 different types of resin, intentionally, so you could get the roll action if you wanted to roll it. But you can also play it as a straight up slide bag all day long if you want to as well. So it doesn't kick much. I've enjoyed it. I'm ready to get them out there and get people some feedback from folks on.
I do think it's important for people to realize like it's not the same hybrid carpet that's on the Power Dragon. No. It's a variation. Mm-hmm. All right, so it's on other bags out there. All right, but it's not the same stuff. So like this is they do play differently. I mean, there's pretty close, but for the most part. And I gotta say, the black is just so.
It's so.
God,
it's
damn.
So black.
It just looks so good.
Yeah, it's
it looks really
darker
nice.
than it's like that. What is the name of that crazy dark black that like everything like disappears into?
I don't know, man.
It's
black hole.
I mean, it's a color. It is an actual color. It is
black.
It's very deep. Like it's
nice and black.
Yeah,
nice,
super
nice
black.
And black. Yes,
it's real black.
For people that have,
it's midnight.
I think Brent and Brotherhood have been around long enough. People, if you've ever played their Guardian, it's the same hybrid carpet that's on their Guardian.
Correct.
Right? So anybody that's ever played the Guardian will know the hybrid carpet very well. But I think it's a little bit slower than the stuff we have on the Power Dragons and the Viper R's, and I like it. I think it's a controllable bag, and you still do everything you want to do with it, and looks good. Did you guys notice the top? We're the only one with this top material. As Maddie would say, this is a original fabric combination.
Yes.
Meaning nobody else has this fabric combination out there yet. But I know that company sent some samples around to all the bag manufacturers, so others may have seen it. But you notice it looks like it's been to the strip club. It's got the flakes of,
for sure,
like glitter in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a little fleck.
Looks like the bag went to the strip club. I love that.
So the Albuquerque Open is coming up this weekend. I think you now qualify to play in the senior division. What bag are you throwing in? What series are you going to bring? What are you throwing these days?
Well, I'll have Charlie's, Dirty Dragons, and Power Dragons.
Okay.
I'll be ready.
See how the boards are.
All 3 of them. Yeah, all 3 of them are my favorites. So.
And you're sneaky. You can get hot. If you get hot, you can surprise some people.
And I've actually been practicing because I'm playing. You guys, I think you know Minabella Woods. She's on our team.
Yeah.
She's on our team. Very, very good player. Her dad and I are playing in the U.S. Armed Forces qualifier.
Hell yeah!
As well, so I'm going to play with him.
That's awesome.
So I've actually been practicing the last month just so I didn't disappoint him too bad. So.
Hell
nice.
Yeah!
So we'll see. My roll bag's on point. I got to tell you.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, you're a step. I mean,
okay.
You're like a different Dan now. Like,
I'm
wow.
like, hey,
excuse
guess
me.
what?
You
Guess
got a
what?
cap on. He shaved. He could throw a roll bag. Like, who are you? Like, if you've changed so much.
You developed a roll bag. I developed a draw with my irons.
Oh, I know.
So, there we go. Tit for tat.
It can happen. You can learn things.
The world goes round. So I got to say, the name of the bag surprised me a little bit because we had like Power Dragon, there's Dirty Dragon, like there's a theme to these.
Yes.
Right. And then Charlie's. Like it was just so. How did the name come about?
Well, when I first got involved in, oh, can you hear an echo? Is it just me?
You're good now.
Yeah, you're good now.
You're good.
Okay. When I first got involved, there was a few things I wanted to do in the industry that I hadn't seen done yet. Right. Coming from a big corporate background, there were just some things that I thought maybe we could do in Draggin Bags that others hadn't done, and really on the top of the list was I wanted to bring corporations into my organization into the sport, right? Try to bring more people into the sport. And so I wanted to go out there and pull a Jerry Jones, even though I hate his ass right now for the coach he just picked. But I wanted to go out there and pull a Jerry Jones and get somebody to pay for the naming rights to a cornhole bag series, right? I mean, High Dragons, Dirty Dragons, Igniters, and that's what we did. We went out and found a company named Charlie's, and they paid for the naming rights to name our bag series. And so I think we're the first in the industry to do it. We're the first in the industry to have somebody pay for the naming rights to one of our ACL-approved professional bag series.
Hell yeah.
And it's Charlie's.
I mean,
That's
it's smart,
awesome.
right? I mean, that's how, like, you think about, like, when league directors,
Yeah.
right, when they're trying to support their league, they sell boards, right? Like board sponsorship. I mean, basically, but now these are like advertisements essentially that are traveling with people and going everywhere they go. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and we're put, you'll see on all of our jerseys and banners and everything, you'll see Charlie's on there. I mean, they're a part of our organization now as a partner with us for doing this. So it's exciting. We were fortunate. I've talked to in the last year and a half a lot of companies, and I shared this with the ACL the other day. It's still just not mainstream enough that major organizations are like, let's put some money into cornhole, right? I think that things are starting to move in that direction a little bit more. I think the more that the ACL goes after high school, college, I think their Super Hole, is pretty. It brings it kind of a mainstream feel to it. But I talked to a lot of companies about doing this, and with the value propositions for a lot of these companies were way better than they are for Charlie's. But fortunate for me, Michael Weedman, the VP over at Charlie's, loves playing cornhole, and whether he thinks there's going to be a huge ROI for doing it or not, he loves playing cornhole and was interested enough to get involved with us and sign up to purchase the naming rights for our bag series. So
I mean, it
we're
starts with one.
I mean, the cornhole business world, if nothing else, is kind of a copycat league. Well, I mean, it is definitely a copycat league. So it's only a matter of time now before we start seeing this as kind of like the new norm. Yeah,
but you're also smart because, like you said, it's an original combination of fabrics, and you give it to naming rights to a company. I feel like it's very unique for that company to have this specific bag right now. Yeah. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, we wanted it to be a new bag. We didn't want to rename something we already had and rename it for somebody. We wanted to come up with a new bag combination, fabric combination, a new bag for the new company that would do this for us and do this with us. And so yeah, we're excited about it. I pull up my screen here, but it's it's an interesting partnership. Charlie's has been around since 1981, and they're one of the premier LGBTQ plus venues in North America, and they've got 5 locations. Denver, Colorado, Phoenix, I'm thinking Denver, Colorado, Chicago, Las Vegas, and then Paco's Ranch down in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. So it's a nightclub.
Sweet.
It's a gay bar. And like I said, they've been involved in their communities across the states they're in for years, and we've actually got coming up in February, I think Valentine's Day weekend, gay rodeo coming up, big event here. Gay rodeo. We got a cornhole event out there for that, and so it's a good group of people. You can't, Michael for sure, and everybody associated. Charlie's a sponsor. Gina, the last couple of years, is one of her sponsors. So like I said, it was a real easy fit for us and for them because they had been involved in it for a while. So
for sure,
yeah, we're very fortunate.
So I think it's kind of an easy.
First, wanted to be the first.
Oh, you definitely are. It's kind of an easy transition. You brought her name up. Gina's off to a pretty good start this year, and especially in women's doubles. Her and Cheyenne seem to be kind of meshing together. I think that was kind of the plan from the get go. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I don't think I got to go check, but I don't think they've lost a women's event that they played in.
I don't think they have
I think
either.
they've won every one of them.
Yeah, I
Sounds
think
about
they've
right.
won 3 of them, I think, and those are the 3 that
I know
they were
they
at.
won. I know they won 3 in a row, but I think they won the first one they went to as well.
Now, how did that whole thing come about? Like, I know Gina and Cheyenne had played together before at like Spencer's, I believe. So like how did it come? It was clearly a business decision. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to pair up with Cheyenne, like, you know, like, hey, you have an opportunity, like, hey, we can go run this thing.
Yeah.
So like, as a bag manufacturer, and Gina's one of your guys, I mean, she's one of your premier sponsored players. Like, how does that work going in doubles and partnering with somebody outside of, you know, the team Draggin Bags?
Yeah, well, she is our premier player on our team.
Yeah.
It's easy. You know, I mean, Cheyenne's going for Titan for Brendan Greba. And, you know, I picked up the phone, called him and said, hey, how do you want to run this? That if you're expecting Gina to throw Titan bags every event, then you're going to have to cut me a check. And he said, oh, no. He said, we can alternate. That's fine. So that's what we agreed on. They alternate events. They'll play Titan bags one event, Draggin Bags the next event. And then we, you know, Brandon and I agreed on our performance bonuses. And if they win with Titan, then, you know, Gina gets half her normal and Cheyenne gets her full. If they win with Dragon, Cheyenne gets half hers and Gina gets her full. It was an easy trend. It was easy to work out with Brandon. He's a good guy, solid guy. So it was easy to work out with him.
Oh, it's nice to hear.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely.
I mean?
It's playing nice with another bag company. That's, you know, it
Well,
can
I
be
think
done.
Brandon's
Look
been
at that.
around too, so I think he kind of gets it. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Too, like, you know what I mean? So it's
There's room
nice
for everybody to eat, and hey, and if you don't have to take up that whole paycheck, it's nice to spread the love a little bit.
because that's
like
not
in
the
game,
case.
you know?
I mean, at least, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard other, and I'm not going to name anybody, but there are some bag companies that, listen, if you are not wearing our stuff or you're not throwing our bags, like, you're not making money off from us, kind of thing. So I know, like,
And it's you know, it's tough. It's just people's different business models, and I think, you know, some of the bigger companies can probably, you know, get away with it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to tell you if I was paying $60,000-$70,000 a year to a player that I probably wouldn't be a little bit more strict than I am too, right? I mean, it's hard enough to get an ROI on sponsorships.
yes.
You know, and you want to make sure people are promoting you if you're paying them. But I understand both sides of it. We're just, you know, at this point, I wouldn't do it anyway if we're bigger, but at this point, we're just not big enough to worry about that. But, you know, I think most of the bag manufacturers will work together on situations like that. Obviously, you know, even when you talk to players, you know, and trying to find Gina a doubles partner was for regular pro doubles was an example. There was a lot of people I wanted to play with in pro doubles, but they were with another bag manufacturer, and both partners were like, well, you know, I really want to play with somebody who's supposed to the same bags I do all the time, so that I'm practicing with the same bag. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand it. But the players, I think, more were than the bag manufacturers were of the you know, opinion they want to play with somebody with their same bag. So, like, go find me a partner that's going to throw Dragon so we can be on, you know, we're always throwing the same bags. But yeah, Brandon's a good guy. He did a little bit of work for us. So when I first got involved, obviously we didn't have all of our equipment and couldn't do everything. And so he did a good job for us early on, doing some sublimation, some sewing. So we've had a relationship with him. Obviously Maddie's had a relationship with him forever. So, but good guy.
He is.
Hell yeah.
Another good thing. He's always one of those guys. If he's at an event, I always try to make sure I go up and at least.
I love, like, he's always so, like, sneaky when he, like, comes over to you too. Like, he'll just pop up out of nowhere and be like, hey buddy. We're like, wow, good Lord, where did you come from?
You're intimidating as fuck.
Yeah, but I think they'll have obviously I think they'll have a good season. You know, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get another a world title under our belts by the end of the year.
Be kind of sweet.
That would be sweet.
But I think I don't think they're very happy with the payouts for women's doubles right now.
So you already know you're going to take home, sponsoring the best podcast award at the World Championships.
Back.
Okay, so back-to-back champs. Yeah. So that one's already in the bag. So he can hang
So
that
good that
one
the
up.
competition just doesn't last.
It's so true. It's like for the second year in a row,
No one else
has
is dumb enough
challenged
to
him. It's fun to laugh at us.
I was going to transition somewhere, and then I've like just completely lost everything. Where do you think, like, as a bag manufacturer, right? Where do you think the state, like, are you comfortable where the state of the game is right now? Like, do you think that most bag manufacturers are going to find success if they're regionally popular. Does that make sense? Like, do they have to have like their honey hole?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you have to define what success is first, right? If you want to define success by the finances, then really going to be very slim pickings.
Yeah.
For a lot of bag companies, I would think. But I think you got to have regional. You got to dominate a region somewhere. The big guys are dominating multiple regions. I laugh because between Anthony and Rich, it's like every week they're somewhere with some club trying to sponsor some club in some state. And I'm fortunate in Arizona we have a very good cornhole fan base, and we have a very loyal customer base in Arizona. And not everybody in Arizona throws Draggin Bags, right? Every bag manufacturer's got some people here throwing their bags, but we have the vast majority. When I first took over, it was 100% through. That's what everybody threw. Over the last couple of years, you've seen, there's still ultra bags out there. There's always going to be, but the majority of the bags you see in Arizona are ours. And so, Arizona is obviously our regional stronghold. But I think, and overall, I'm not happy with the state of where it is right now. No. I think there's a lot of options for people out there to throw. I think the struggle for us is still there's still people out there who don't even know who we are, which, blows my mind to some extent.
Yeah.
We picked up some good ambassadors across the country this year. Fairchild up in your area, Kevin.
Well, I was just going to say, Arizona, Cleveland, you guys are definitely growing in popularity. I was going to give a shout out to Kevin because he's definitely the one that pushes. So yes.
And we'll have a discussion off here about helping Kevin out with something. So I just want to he's a good dude. But
ordering 20 sets a month.
Oh yeah,
up there.
There's tons of people throwing them out here now, so it's very nice. I show up to a blind draw and somebody I've never even seen before already have Draggin Bags in their hands. I'm like, well, we're throwing yours. Let's go. Easy. Makes life a lot easier.
Yes, we grew nicely last year. I looked at unique zip codes, and we went from a very small number of unique zip codes to well over 1,000. So it was a huge year last year for as far as geography where our bags were at, and we're seeing similar reactions this year. But it's just there's a lot of bag companies. There's a lot of different bags out there. I really don't have anything bad to say about any other bag company or any other bag.
No.
I mean, we all know they're very similar, how they're made, very similar.
For sure.
It comes down to what your preference is and who's playing in your area that plays what bags and do they like them, and so it's just the marketing side of this for us is still the big side to continue to push, try to get more people to try our bags. I think if people try our bags, I think they typically like them.
Well, call them out. Who are we talking about here, Dan? Who's not buying? What region is not buying your bags? This is a national podcast. Call them out right now.
Well, we have some in every region. I'm saying we have some in every region.
Where do you need more sales, though?
Hotter than others.
Who's hurting you?
Is Reggie shitting out again?
Come on.
He has a couple kids, and
look, Fred, I'm never gonna. No. Reggie is a past this year. Reggie's been awesome for us, and this year I think he's got a new house. And
damn it, Reggie!
He sends me messages and goes, "I don't have it ordered in a while, but when Reggie orders, he orders 30 at a time.
Oh, I know.
Go out and sell, but really getting further east coast. It's interesting when we go to opens, east of the Mississippi. Our booth sells out because they don't see us out there, right?
Yeah, correct.
They can't always get our bags, and so when they see us in person, we have all the bags there. It sells out. Around these areas, like Albuquerque, Charlie's. Hopefully that'll do well at the open because it's a brand new bag, and we'll do well online. But typically out west, everybody knows kind of who we are, and so you go to an event, and it's the same people that come to your booth and buy the bags they bought them before, right? There's not a lot of newbies or not a lot of people switching over. Kind of people have made their brand decisions for what they are for right now, but when we go out east, you can tell they don't see us a lot and maybe haven't heard of us a lot, and so they give it a shot. So
for sure, I'd
say out east, but we're doing well in Nebraska and South Dakota. Texas is a tough market. That's
it is
between TCL and BG.
It's so hard.
That's tough to crack.
It is.
That and his brother and his cronies. I don't think they're good salespeople, so they're there. Trying to sell more bags, but they don't. So I mean, where we're from up there, it's TCL country. I mean, that's
For sure.
Hardly anybody throws ACL in that part of Texas.
No,
Yeah.
they don't.
So,
I mean, they don't need to. Yeah, I mean, like they really
That's
just
true.
they just no need to.
there's no events.
No.
No events. Up
Yeah,
there.
you got to
So,
travel. You know, what I mean,
trying
if
to
you're
get-
to travel, you got to be good.
Yeah,
So
we're trying to remedy that. We're trying to work with some people in North Texas to get the regional director up there and get some events going on up there on a consistent basis, and try to get the ACL ingrained a little bit more in North Texas.
yeah,
Um,
we're good.
you
Good. I mean, I
people will
know.
come and play. I don't think they're not going to play because it's an ACL regional. They'll show up and play
Oh yeah,
at any event.
People just want to play.
yeah,
out
correct.
there,
That's yeah,
so-
correct.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter if it's for
Yeah, as much as they want to bitch either way, they're
make
still going to
believe
show up
points
to
or
the
not.
event. So,
Yeah,
exactly.
Correct. I mean, just going to the point of that there's a lot of bag manufacturers out there. I
Yeah.
mean, we just created the best of the bags bracket last night, and that was 128 unique bag companies.
yep.
I mean, and
We made
that's
it.
not even all of them. Because
All the
like
way
then
through.
commenting today were like 4 other companies that we didn't include. I'm like, listen, I mean,
Sorry.
you had, I mean,
Cast in stone.
yeah, I mean, the post was up for 7 hours. And we had like 130 comments.
It's
I'm
like
like,
we dug deep to
Yeah,
find
so
some bag
we did.
companies.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we were scraping the bottom of the barrel. So like,
Scrolling through
if
that
you weren't on
non-typical
this, that
bag
means like
company.
you are nowhere. Like it's really hard to find you on Facebook. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we were.
Or even guys that are like playing in all 3 big leagues. They
Yeah.
have like don't even know you.
Yeah,
Then that's. But yeah, it was fun to make though. Good
was
lord,
crazy.
it was eye opening. It was actually kind of for us as a podcast. It was refreshing a bit to be like, man, there's still that many people
Yeah,
out there
correct.
making bags. Like
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
for a minute there, I thought there was
Well, there's
maybe
a lot of
only
people-
like 40 left. It's like it was.
Seems
it was-
like it.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a dying art form, but it's
Yeah, I
not.
think there's 59 this year just in the ACL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
59.
No, yep, they're all in there.
They're all there.
We went through them all
It's not,
yesterday.
R.I.P.
the-
Amish Electric
The
though.
point, the point of entry, the cost of entry into bag making isn't so crazy that it prevents people from trying.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's true.
You know,
Just dangle the fruit
you know,
just
Maddie
enough.
did it forever.
So speaking
Yeah,
of
Maddie
so
did it
speaking of
forever,
making
and
bags correctly,
in his room.
so a few weeks ago we brought up this point of people like certain bag companies were selling bags that were not passing specs of a specific tool that they were passing out with the bags to test the bags. And when we got them and they were new and hadn't done anything to them, they did not meet the specs. They were small. And then after that, magically, for some unknown reason, that said company comes out with a video saying like, oh no, you guys are just measuring wrong. You have to pat the shit out of it first and stretch it a little bit. And then it does fit.
I mean, we'll go back to the video footage, but we patted the shit out of that.
So I made
Sorry.
the argument that I think I don't think it's right that a company can stamp a bag when it goes out the doors and it doesn't meet specs right away.
Yeah.
And you expect there has to be some sort of expected break-in process. I get it. Like eventually, if the bag gets too thin, it's just the life of the bag. Listen, it's the world goes round. Like you guys want them to buy new bags. You don't want these things to last forever, right? There needs to be some sort of breakdown. Where do you stand on this? Like, is it just not a big deal? And it's like you have to expect there has to be some sort of margin of error here.
Well, there's a built-in margin of error for bags breaking in. There is some margin of error for when a bag breaks in.
Yeah.
Already built in the specs for the ACL. All of our bags when they leave meet the specs,
Mhm.
right? I think, and we have a smaller template. I mean, we were one of the first people to go with a smaller template.
Yes.
And so, we're pushing the limits when it comes to template size. But by the time somebody breaks them in, it spreads out and they're going to be no problem. And we haven't had, I had my meeting with ACL a couple weeks ago. We haven't had any bag failures through the ACL testing process. Gina's bags were tested last week before the Queen Seat match, and we haven't had any fail. So, I ran into that whole deal. Yeah, when a bag leaves my shop, it needs to meet specs, right?
Well, the Charlies
once it leaves my
just
shop-
passed, so they just passed. They just did the test. So.
So when it leaves the shop, it's got to meet specs. And then what happens to it out there, and we've got to do a better job, I know, in our company, and I think some of the other companies have already done a better job, but we've got to do a better company. And I'm going to start putting some stuff in with the bags, but like I only recommend breaking them in one way. I mean, I know our bags, I know the material. I recommend breaking them in one way, and none of that involves heat, right? I tell everybody, I said, you go out and buy a new T-shirt, and you come home and you wash it in hot water and throw it in the dryer. What happens to it?
Correct.
It shrinks.
Yep.
Right. So this is material, just like anything else. Don't do it. When you throw your jeans in the dryer, what do? They shrink up. Now they stretch back out after you wear them a while, but just don't put heat on it. So, I cold wash everything.
Yep.
The bags you got were cold washed with fabric softener and then set on top of the dryer to just air dry for a little while. But, I think if people bring them in the right way, there's not going to be any issues with the bag testing. And I don't think the thing that's been out there publicly enough either is we have to send in our bags every year at the beginning of the year. All of our bag series, the old ones, the new ones, we have to send in actual bags, and they go through the ACL bag testing process and get measured and spec'd and make sure they pass. And if they don't, they'll send you back and say, hey, these didn't pass, send us another one. Like I had, we didn't put the H's out on the Power Dragons till, just recently, because when I originally sent them in, they weighed like 16.6 ounces instead of 16.5. So they failed them, right? Because they were too heavy. And, so they go through a testing process every year. Every bag that we put out gets tested before the season starts. And most bag companies at this point, I think there's a few people out there probably still, hand sewing on a sewing machine with a template, but most every bag company out there, and the one you're talking about, I know for sure, we all have, CNC sewing machines, right? There's no variation in the size of my bag ever. It sews on the same template every stinking time. So it's not going to change. I've had people call me and say, man, your bags seem bigger this year than last year, or this bag, I'm like, can't happen. It's the same template.
I think sometimes it has something to do with the design, though. Yeah. Like I think a design on a bag sometimes can make it look bigger or smaller.
It could play tricks on your eyes. I think bag color definitely has.
For sure. Black always looks smaller.
A lot of complaints. This will probably be. That bag's so much bigger than your other bags. So.
I know Sean said he had the audacity to say that black looks smaller.
You don't get an opportunity to say that very often. So
that's true. Take the win when you can
swing
get
a home run.
Yeah,
swing a home run. So
as dirty of a lie as it is, it's fun to laugh.
Yeah, like I said, I think that I saw all the Facebook posts, and look, as a consumer, if you buy bags, research the manufacturer. Most of them have some sort of break-in process listed that they approve. You buy their bags, break them in the way they say to break them in, and you shouldn't have much of a problem.
No, And again, I know I'm being nitpicky.
Yeah. 100%. That's 100% the side I'm on, because I treat this as buying a cornhole bag is not buying a golf club. You don't want to take it to the range and let it rip right away. This is a baseball glove. You got to break it in before it's ready to rip in a game. So to me, I think you have to expect to take the little TLC. Now, some bag manufacturers break them in for you and stuff. Like those are the ones that are like, to me, as long as those are passing spec out the door and people are throwing them right away.
Yeah, correct.
Sweet.
I agree. Yeah. They go through like their pro break-in process or whatever. Yeah.
Honestly, I think every legitimate company will.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that dumb to not have that happen. But at the end of the day, the consumer, though, like you said, heat kills a bag, but I think consumers can also be a little savvy too.
Yeah.
I think some of them know how to do some things. Like, I've seen plenty of seamless bags. I've mentioned it on the show before.
Yeah.
Like,
well, this is getting pretty damn close to seamless.
you do have a high and tight one on that one. It's pretty sweet, but
we're working on it. We're working hard on that.
Yeah, dude, it's noticeable. It's very noticeable.
Yeah, it is very nice.
It's to the point where like when you're holding the bag, you have to like look down, or if you're spinning the bag, you're like, well, fuck me. Like, I don't know where the seam's at. Let me look real quick.
But you know what? His logo's pointed the right direction.
No, I know.
So it's easy to find.
It's not sideways.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, correct.
I hate when people do that.
I know.
It's so annoying.
I know.
But yeah, that was
the test. Look, I'm a big fan of the Fair Play Act with the ACL. I think like everything they're doing after this year, they'll probably take a look at it, and maybe they'll make some changes to it at certain levels. Maybe they won't. Who knows? But I know people are bitching about they're marking out stamps, and I get it. It's somebody else's property and you're marking it out, but how else are you going to keep that bag from going back to a local, going back to that local where that person came from and playing in regionals with an illegal bag?
Yeah.
there's no way other than marking out stamp.
And honestly,
right now.
like,
So, like I
these
said,
people haven't heard of Jinx X though. You literally just squirt it on there; it'll take the ink right out. Oh, I didn't hear me say that.
I do think
Didn't
this
hear me
is
say that.
an
But
opportunity for people though, like if they're new, like if you're just tuning in and you're like, oh, this is like Cornhole Podcast, sweet. If you're trying to break bags in, you don't need, again, just public service now. You don't need heat. Like I've been
cold
old
wash.
school, cold wash, and then I throw it in my dryer with no heat and it just tumbles. That way it's just like,
I don't even do the fabric softener.
No,
I don't do
no, no, no,
detergent.
no, no.
I literally just throw it in
Yeah.
cold water, and I'll
Yes.
just throw it on like a long cycle.
Yeah.
Beat the hell out of it in that
Correct.
cold water, and then just tumble dry.
and then speaking
go.
of the devil again, Reggie Reichs taught me a trick way back when. If you take a little rubber mallet
Yeah.
right around the corners, just kind of break them in a little bit, stretch them out with your hands. I mean, they're pretty good to go after.
I like the
few
drive
rounds.
the truck over them method.
Oh yeah,
I think that works out
Okay,
pretty well.
well.
Yeah,
It does. Just
That works out
one,
until
one.
you
Yeah, just
blow
one
up.
backup.
does it work the same with the
I
Lincoln?
don't know what happened. I've been.
I've never had it.
Get
I've
that
never had it
picture-
blow up on me. Not a single bag. You just lay them
the
flat.
bag and say, I don't know what's going on with this bag, but look, I only throw professional boards indoor, and the bag's just ripped to shit.
Oh yeah, correct. Yeah,
You know.
correct. There must have been a little chip in the board or something.
Well, Sean, I mean, you know the bread and butters that are about to be retired.
Oh,
My,
yeah.
my white power dragons.
Oh, yeah,
I drove my car over those to break them in. It was really just one
Okay.
roll back.
Glad they held up.
Yeah, they've held up this long, but I think
I'll be honest with
it's
you,
time
I'm
to
ready.
retire them.
I'm ready for somebody out there to find a different fabric other than the herringbone that we all have. Out there,
Yeah.
'cause I hate the herringbone.
Me too.
I'm there with you.
God.
You know, we get a lot of those.
Men with
I think
rough
we get a lot
hands
of them.
can't throw
We're
herringbone.
on an island here. You realize
Yeah.
that? Like, there's not there. I feel like is it a bigger island than I think though?
It is.
Are there a lot of people
there's
out there?
Not many people throwing herringbone.
If you're
out there.
listening to this right now and on Facebook, can you just comment on the post that you're just like, you can just give me a thumbs up and I'll know what it means. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to admit anything. Just give me a thumbs up in the comments, just to let me know that we're not alone. That you don't like herringbone either.
I think there's a lot of people that don't like herringbone.
Yeah, like it just happens to be like the good players like it. You know what I mean? But like the rest of us, I just don't like it. I can't throw it well.
Well, I think that I thought it was the good players liked it too, and I think people that throw it there's some good players that throw it. But two things. One is we get constantly we get people sending me pictures of I don't know what happened to these bags. I've only had them for 10 days, and you can see that herringbone opening up on the back, right?
Yeah.
And you explain to them, look, you can send me a picture of your grip. You grip the bag too tight, that herringbone tears. But most people, again, if they put any heat at all on that herringbone, there's a lining behind it that adheres to the material.
Correct.
So guess what that heat does? It
Melts
melts
it
that
right
glue,
off. Yep.
and now you got a gap between and you got any kind of gap, that stuff's going to open up. It's still playable. It's not going to mess with your performance. Nothing's coming out of it, but now it just looks bad. But yeah, people spin it, you grip it too tight. I've been amazed how many people have sent pictures in and like they didn't realize that was an issue with herringbone at all. I'm like, man, it's been around for 2 or 3 years now, and it's a constant issue. But I thought what was interesting was I think when BG's new Kingslayer came out, a lot of the BG crew that had been throwing, the Wizards switched over to Kingslayer. So maybe we'll see a transition away from herringbone over the next year or something. We want to make
Is that because the bag is better, or is that because BG's like, hey, we're releasing this new bag, I want you to give it all the college try?
No, I think I think people like that material better.
Okay. Well, I think that people are
Yeah,
sick and tired
I
of
would say
seeing what
that-
that bag can do and being like, why am I not throwing something
So-
that's just more hole friendly?
I mean, maybe this is just my old age and I'm just not as strong as I once was, but I feel like the boards I've thrown on the last 10 times I've been out have been so much slower than anything that I've ever been throwing on before.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe that's just the new norm. Are slower boards just becoming the people figure out the right finish?
I think
on
it depends
boards to
on
put
where
them
you're at.
a
Because out in
reasonable
Arizona,
speed?
they're pretty quick.
Yeah. But again, I'm talking my sample size here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
I'll not even TCL because I know that those are just designed
I
to
think
be slow as
the
shit.
type of board matters. We know West Georgia boards tend to be a little bit slower compared to the other competitors.
Yeah, it's just been, I don't know. It's just been strange to me. I don't really know how the ACL Pro boards play.
I mean, you see my boards,
obviously, but
my old boards from Colorado Cornhole Connection from 4 or 5 years ago. are still lightning fast. Like by far the fastest boards we've ever.
Well, that's because you sprayed them with Pledge one time,
did not.
and that was it.
That
was it.
Dad's
That's all it
boards.
took.
That was my dad's boards.
You want to speak? You want to speak some boards up at a tournament? Take you a microfiber cloth with you,
Oh,
and just wipe down the boards before play. That'll speed. You'll get those boards will get quick in a hurry.
Oh, that's a little
See.
A
tip.
regular old microfiber cloth and
Little
wipe,
tip.
all right.
wipe
So,
down boards before you
Sean,
play.
when you go to
That-
face
your partner knows
the,
that your
for sure.
partner will step up there and throw his first 4 bags off the back of the board. 'Cause
Bring
it's
my
not
little
like everything
Swiffer.
else in the room now.
but I have a
Dust it down real fast.
microfiber to clean the inside of my windshield.
Ooh.
I'll just bring that in,
Yeah.
and anytime we face a roll bag player, I'll just be like,
There's just a little spot
wipe
here.
it down real quick.
Dane, how many
Yeah,
people in your lifetime do you think you've seen?
Unique people, obviously,
Unique people that you've seen in your lifetime.
in my lifetime.
Not that you've like developed a relationship, just people you've seen.
I would like to think that I've seen in my lifetime at least, I would say 500 million people.
500 million people. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a big number.
500
Holy
million?
shit. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Unique people out in the public. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I've
wow.
traveled quite a bit in my life. I think that's a good number.
Yeah, I think that's high, but I mean, you
I
could
think
be
There's
right.
9 billion people in this world.
Yeah, I know.
9 billion.
500 million is still a lot.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Well, I was trying to think like
Think of all the people that have died.
Well, you think-
that
okay.
I've seen my whole lifetime. We're talking 35 years just
you
down
go
the gambit.
to
Then
you go to a Cavs game, right? 30,000 people, right? I'm
Yeah.
not seeing every single
I've
one of
never
them. But like,
seen any of them before in my life.
Mhm.
Every time I
I get
go.
that.
Yeah, but did you really see all of them?
No, that's what I'm saying. So like
You saw
you,
them on the ground,
maybe I'm maybe a third of them. You're actually kind of maybe
I love
that's
how
a bit
you
too
throw
high.
me up for slaughter on this one.
I was just getting an idea. and
Like, you act like
threw
I
out an
gave a-
astronomical number.
Yeah, I like to think that. I've seen that many.
Okay, I was closer to like the million, like lower million mark.
Okay, that's
I'm thinking.
that's way too low.
You think
Yes,
1 million people is a lot of people?
dude, it's not.
It is a lot of people.
There's 9 billion people in the world. How
I
many
know.
people live in Ohio?
I don't know. But
Just look up how many people.
again,
Right.
it's not like how many people I live by. It's how many people
No,
I've seen in my lifetime.
You've seen, yeah, but you've also traveled. Every car you've driven by, count it. Even if you know them or not, to me, that's seeing them. We're talking
Okay.
generality, unique people that you have seen. You could be standing on a mountaintop and see all the way to Kansas City. Every person that's in there, count it.
I'm going to ask ChatGPT.
So Dane, you're saying you think you've seen like 18% of the people in this world?
Now you're talking about in this moment right now. Go 35 years with the amount of people that have passed away and been birthed.
That's right.
Yes, I think
Right,
I
but
have.
I mean, but you're saying there's 9 billion people. in the
I would
world.
drop
I mean, I
that
know
down. I would drop
growing,
that down more to, like, I've probably only seen about 4%. I know it's a high number, but
That's a good
I like
question,
to, I'm just trying to. I got to argue my case best I can.
Okay, so this is what this is ChatGPT's
You guys are trying to
answer.
make me sound
So you
stupid.
can-
I'm trying to prove a point.
Okay,
Hot
so
dog is a sandwich, Sean.
The
okay?
number of people, an average person sees in a lifetime could vary greatly depending on factors like location, lifestyle, and occupation. However, estimates suggest that the average person sees or interacts with 80,000 to 100,000 people in their lifetime.
That's terrible. You're talking about
This-
interacts and sees.
This figure includes everyone you encounter from passing strangers to acquaintances and close relationships, people living in densely populated urban areas, or working professionals that involve meeting people or many people, like teachers, salesperson, may see more than those in rural areas, obviously. But still, like
So we're talking like
500
the-
million just seems
We're
like...
talking about
oh.
the farmer that like lives in the middle of nowhere. We live, we're in suburbia, and I go downtown all the time. Count it. Let's go. Every time I drive into Cleveland, I'm seeing all the people that are in downtown Cleveland, and they're all different every day.
All right.
Some of those are the same people you've already seen.
Nope. This is my sword. I'm dying on it. All right.
Dan, how many people do you think it would take to kill a T-Rex?
How many people or how many Dans?
How many people?
Okay.
So just bare hands.
Yeah. We'll go bare hand.
And we're assuming that they have like the skeleton of a T-Rex anatomically correct.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's good.
Because we actually don't know.
Valid point. Could have had feathers. We don't know.
Oh, they definitely had feathers.
So
I
no
mean,
ropes, like they could have rocks and wooden clubs. That's it. Right?
Whatever they can pick up
find.
from the ground. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
we'll say manpower.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say probably about 15 or 20.
Yeah. Easily, right? Yeah.
I would say just give me one
I
large
think-
D, and he'll handle it for me.
I'd say 5 to 10 of really, really crafty, strong Neanderthals could probably pull it off. But yeah, like 15 to 20, I think be the right number to do it without a lot of casualties.
All right, we'll go a derivative off of this.
Okay.
So what era and time? Let's start let's outlaw all automatic like weaponry.
Okay.
Like firearms. All right. What era and time would take out a T-Rex the fastest? 1-on-1, we'll say.
1-on-1?
Yeah. Are there any civilizations that could take one out 1-on-1 pre-firearm?
I mean, you got to
Well, I
think.
guess
like,
if you believe conspiracy theories that they whitewashed history and the giants that used to live here.
it's true.
Well, the giants
maybe
actually,
those guys could have
those
done it.
T-Rexes were just their pets.
Right.
So I'm thinking
They're their
Giants
horses.
could
They
maybe
rode them around.
maybe like one of like the huge Nordic motherfuckers. You
Like
know what I
a
mean?
Viking or
Like,
something. Like,
yeah, like one of them. You know what I mean? Like Viking
just have like
DNA.
a huge Highlander sword. And
Maybe a samurai just because
Yep.
they would have the sword.
like crafty, like chop them up to a million pieces.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
mean,
slide underneath him and cut the Achilles on his leg. And
Correct.
now he, can't get around, and then you cut the other Achilles, and now
So
he's
you're
just
done.
flopping around on the ground, and you just start chopping him up with your big broadsword.
done.
I'd go with I think maybe like Pacific Islander or something.
Okay.
They're pretty crazy warriors. I feel like their weaponry's
Yeah.
pretty gnarly.
Yeah. I mean, I
Might be
guess
able
you
to
could,
take
like,
it out.
dinosaurs are kind of like dragons, right? So maybe knight.
Maybe.
Maybe. If it was the right one, an athletic one. I don't know. All right, Dane, I'm interested to know if you were dropped off in the wilderness,
Okay.
right? Just you, dropped off in the middle of the forest. Do you think that you could survive 100 days? And if so, or if not, like how long do you think you could survive?
100 days for sure.
You think you could survive 100 days in the wilderness by yourself?
Yes.
I do not
Sean,
think so.
I am way craftier and better at all of those things than you are. 1,000%. Way more willpower. I can sit there
Dan,
in
what about
dead
you? How long
silence
do you think you
forever.
can last in the wilderness by yourself?
What are my options for getting out of there? Like, what? I just make a phone call, or do I have a pager and I page somebody?
Yeah, we'll say you're on like that reality
It would
show
be-
alone.
Yeah, it would be before the battery ran out, and whatever the device was, I could call somebody that I would be calling them to come get me.
Yeah, correct.
I like camping in hotels. In the
Me-
forest.
amen,
You know,
brother.
a hotel
So
in
my
the
thing
mountains.
though is as long as I know that whenever I'm done, I can just have somebody rescue me. I mean, what's the prize at the end? Is there any prize? Like, what are we
Have
doing
you ever seen
here?
the show Alone?
I have.
That's a crazy concept. You have no idea if you're the winner or loser. You know what I mean? Until they show up at the end, it could be like a year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like these crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, I can. Yeah, I think I could do that.
Okay.
Like I could do that for a long time.
I would
I'd
not.
go
I will
crazy.
fully admit I would. There's no way. I wouldn't even last a week.
Honestly, I feel like I'm handy. I'd figure it out.
Yeah. Good for you. I,
really
mean,
do.
yeah,
I
I'm
just
not.
think
I'm
I'd
not at
figure
all.
it out, yeah.
Yeah. I would not. I would
Yeah,
die.
I would die.
As soon
For
as I
sure.
could get out of there, I would be out of there.
I drank like the wrong puddle.
So
and
I
just
know
shit my brains
yeah,
out.
Sean would be done day one because he wouldn't be able to shit anywhere. He'd be like, "There's no toilet. What the fuck? This is my house."
Yeah,
No bidet? Like, what the
I'm
fuck
with
is
you, Sean.
this? Yeah, amen.
There's no such thing as an away game for me.
Like my
Hotels or
idea.
home, that's it.
My idea of camping is like a nice lodge. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
give me
in
a
the forest, like there could be
cabin,
nature around
insulated
us, but like
cabin,
I want there to be a hot
AC.
tub and like a sauna would be great too inside. So that's kind of my idea of like camping. Like my kids have brought that up. Like we want to go camping. I'm like you don't though. It's not fun. Like you just sleep in a tent on the ground. Like,
It's
it's,
like, let
I
me
know it
teach you-
sounds fun, but your mom can take you if she wants. But like I'm not.
I'll call it glamping. It's
Yeah,
much more
correct.
fun.
I'll take you golfing. Like we
Yeah,
can do
I'm not
that.
like you see.
you want
guys
nature? Take you outside.
like you asked me, like how long I would survive, And
Yes.
like I gave that answer. Like if it was really life or death, though, you guys would still same answer. You guys
Yes.
wouldn't even like
No, I
give
mean,
it the college try and think you could survive.
I think I
It's
have
a
enough.
fucking 100
If
days.
it's
You
li- if
guys
it's
could
life or
figure it
death,
out.
Yeah, I'm obviously gonna try to survive.
Yeah. I'm gonna try.
if
Like
you
I
put the
have some
concept on there,
reserve on
okay.
me too. Like I'm
Somebody takes your
probably
family.
look pretty sweet.
Okay,
after.
I'm sorry. I was calling you out for a second. All right, because I was disappointed in
Yeah,
both
no,
of you
if
guys.
you-
It's 100 days.
No, I couldn't do 100 days.
If you put it out there, it's like, you get the mysterious phone call that says, "Hey, we've kidnapped your family, and a helicopter is picking you up and dropping you off in the middle of the wilderness, and if you don't make it 100 days, we're going to kill your family." I'll make it 100 days.
Yeah,
man.
correct.
Yeah.
But if I get lost at
just throw me out
sea
there just to see if I can do it, hell no.
and you're
I
like,
wanna do
oh,
it.
maybe he made it to a deserted island.
Yeah.
If it's 101 days, I'm already dead. So just like, you know what I mean? Just like have the funeral. Like there's no way. Like there's no castaway situation. You know what I mean?
So
Like
all
I'm
right,
not.
so you're saying this on a public podcast because
Yes.
you're gonna disappear, and then where are you gonna show up, Sean? Yeah, I think you're just laying the groundwork right now. Are you planning
I'm
to
not.
escape on
I'm
me?
not actually.
I'm gonna watch
I'm,
you.
I'm letting you know.
I'm
100
watching
days,
you
I'd be
right
dead. I'd be dead. Put it on the
I
calendar.
mean, I get anxiety watching Castaway just the first
Oh, my
10 minutes
God.
when the plane falls into the ocean and he's going underwater.
Yeah.
Not even to mention when he gets to the island. I've already got anxiety out the wazoo at that point. Can't even
Oh.
finish watching the show.
Yeah, but he
Correct.
met Wilson, so without that happening, he wouldn't have like his best friend ever. So
No. Just,
win-win.
No. I just. All right. So you're sitting at Thanksgiving dinner, right? And you invite 5 guests. Guess anyone you want to be, dead or alive. Who are those 5 people you want to sit down at the table with?
Sean, you answer this one first.
Okay. One is my mom's dad. He's formerly known as Big Bumpa. I would definitely want him there.
Mm-hmm.
Who would I want there? I would want Nemeth, my best friend.
Okay.
I'd want you there.
Oh,
Just because the
that's very
dynamics of
sweet.
3 of us is there with Big Bump. And then, okay, so that's 3, right? So I get 2 more. Who, God, that's tough. I think Trump would be hilarious to be there. But no, I think just vibes wise, I want, give me Shane Gillis.
I was thinking along that line.
And we need someone that Shane can make fun of. So I'm like, I don't want to become the target.
So, all right. So you bring I would bring Tyler.
I mean, Tyler's definitely in consideration. Robbie's in consideration. But if we're going for
Robbie's
people,
too cool though.
people from history, all right, go ahead. I'll think of my last one.
I mean, I like your line of thinking, but I'll shift and I'll go with let's go with all famous people. So number 1 would be I'd want to sit with Adam Sandler.
Oh, that's a great one.
I think
that's
he
a
would
really
be
good
funny
one.
to
Yeah,
just have at a Thanksgiving dinner.
yep, that's a really
Real
good
chill.
one. Yep,
Um,
it's a great one. We have some Jewish relatives too.
we
so
do,
like,
yeah.
mazel
So
tov.
we can help him out there. Makes
Done
no
a
sense.
Seder. No big deal.
And then, man, from there it's kind of it's a whirlwind. But I think I would want to have I don't know, like a good, it's hard because you want to have personalities. Like
Yeah, I
you don't
know.
want to have it like a stick in the mud, like that's just funny in movies, but like you don't know how they are in real
Correct.
life. But in real life, I feel like this guy would be great to have next to Adam Sandler. That's Andrew Santino.
Okay.
Very quick wit.
Yeah.
I love
see
his
that.
humor. So it's an off the wall one, but listen to his podcast all the time. Dude's hilarious.
Yeah.
He can leave Bobby Lee at home though. I gotta throw Big Bump into that mix too. I'm gonna give the nod to Big Bump because he would just have the dirty jokes and the slightly racist jokes on the rip.
I think for one of my last one, I think one of my other favorite comedians right now, I think Tom Segura would be a great dinner guest.
Segura would be a good one, but he's a little too dark.
A little bit.
Do you want him around your family? That's kind of what I'm
no,
thinking.
It's not my family though. It's just those are my.
That's true. If this is just your Thanksgiving dinner, then yeah, it could get weird. I couldn't do like Mark Norman or anything. His voice would get annoying. Like, oh my God, turkey.
That's good.
It was okay. I've had
Wasn't
better.
your best, I know.
Yeah, I've had better. Go ahead, Dan. You just rattle them off because some more are going to pop into my head.
Yeah, so I would take Kevin Hart, Nikki Glaser, Donald Trump, Robert De Niro, because I think that dynamic at the dinner table.
Oh my God, yes.
You know, and I'm not going to say back from we had the greatest Thanksgivings ever for many, many years with my family. So obviously my brothers and all that.
Yeah.
Those four, and then rounding out the fifth person. Those four were easy. The fifth person would be
Stacey Moore.
I want to make
What?
maybe like
He wants leftovers. Come on.
like 1984 Heather Thomas.
Oh, okay, yeah. I listen. You can dead or alive.
She just served
I'm much older than you guys, so like when I was in junior high school, she was the crush, right?
So
Nothing
84,
wrong
I
with
was
that.
still a twinkle in my dad's eye. I was born in 86.
Yeah, I wasn't even a twinkle yet.
You were not. Yeah, you were correct.
Yeah, I was
You're still a few
I was
pumps
the
away.
mistake later.
Yeah.
You know?
Correct.
I was that-
the fall guy, the original fall guy, Heather Thomas, and her
then I
trademark bikini poster.
started to
She
think.
could even wear that before. She could even wear that bikini to a Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, she can serve the food. Beautiful.
Sure can. Sure
I was
can.
I think
thinking,
Nikki
like-
Glaser and Kevin Hart commenting on Donald Trump and Ed De Niro's antics would make for a pretty enjoyable.
Correct.
Yeah.
I would just want to know everything that like Donald Trump knows, like after he's president.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you got to fill me in. Like, first of all, like what's going on with the alien stuff? You know what I mean? Like, what really went down on the 6th? You know what I mean? Like, what level with us? You
Yeah,
know,
just tell us what's up.
what happened? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Hart's a good one. I was thinking like I might want to throw like a little John or a little Wayne into the mix. Like have somebody just completely off the wall, just like throw the full curveball in there and to
People
see
wouldn't know
how
what the hell to do.
Exactly. Yeah, to see because you know that he would instantly become his best friend.
Oh yeah,
Like that's who he'd get along with the best, and then could throw a wrench in the chain and like really change the dynamic.
really could.
Right? Shock and awe.
Shock and awe for sure.
Why not?
For sure. I think that's it.
Is that all we got?
I think so.
Okay.
This has always been a pleasure. Always. We got to get it back out to Arizona.
Yes, we do.
Well, it's fun. No whole 9 yards now, though, so we got to go play with the people all over town.
It's
different
okay.
Venues.
We like people's. Your brother is having his charity tournament once again, correct?
Yep. Third annual.
Melissa
Melissa
Lambert.
Lambert.
It's going to be the weekend of March 29th, I believe. Maybe it's the 28th.
Yeah, so Friday the 28th, and
Okay.
the tournament's on Saturday the 29th.
Okay. So that's my wife's birthday.
Yeah, and it's in
Switch on
Amarillo.
Friday night, and then the tournament, and then a tournament and blind draw on Saturday. So
Okay.
bigger venue. Like I said, it's in Amarillo, bigger venue this year. Same great sponsors that we had last year. You know, Reliance stepping up again big for us this year. The prize first. We 3 divisions this year. We'll have the
Oh, nice.
open, you know, the lowers, regular lowers, if you want to call it that, and then we're having the backyard
Okay.
Nice.
as well, to just get more people that want to come out and play. There's no prize money in the backyard, but I think open top prize this year is $5,000. We're playing 4 plays. I think it's 5, 4, 3, 2, or something like that. I don't remember how to apply, but
Oh yeah.
significant pot for the open. Same rules apply. No pros can play together, but you know, you pro and an elite player can play together. Pro and an advanced player can play together. There's no pros playing together.
Again, this is a charity tournament, so
this should be
just
a good
come
time.
on out. Yeah, come on out.
Yeah. Come on out.
Maybe you'll see a big ass presence there. We're gonna try. We're gonna do everything we
I
can
know
to get out
figure it
there.
out.
all the boys in Texas, you know, Lego Chamberlain, he came out last year.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
I-
was
and-
Victor all day there last year?
I don't think he was.
Was he not
No.
there? I thought he might have been.
No, he
Or
wasn't.
was it?
Tammy
Okay.
was there.
Okay.
Ty was there.
Sweet.
There's a bunch of them. bunch of them last year, and I think all those guys will come back. I mean, the person's big enough.
Oh yeah, it's good competition, good
weekend,
people. Yeah,
easy for them to travel to. So then we'll have a big crew coming out of Arizona. Again, Gene will be back, and
well, those are the kind of tournaments that like we all fell in love with. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Like that's what made us like the game. Like we all went to that first charity tournament, and be like, oh my god, this is so much fun.
It's
I
great
should
to go
join
to
the
an
league.
open, but there's something about just the
for
charity
sure.
tournaments and just the outside of the Gambit tournaments.
100%.
Way more fun.
Yes, different vibes.
Hell yeah.
So it'll be a big good event. We're hoping for another big draw, and like I said, third year Reliance stepped up again big and got a lot of sponsors back from previous year. So we gave out I think 6 scholarships last year after the event.
Cool.
That's awesome.
It's all trade school scholarships.
That's awesome.
I think it's opened up to a larger geography now. The first year we did it just for people in our hometown,
Okay.
kids that were going to our hometown high school. Then last year we opened it up to a bigger part of the Panhandle, except for the towns we hated growing up. We didn't invite them. This year they may have. This year we may have invited everybody to participate. Quad, Texas, you know who you are.
So I know you said this Friday coming up. So was it the 30th?
Yes.
So Friday the 30th.
Yeah,
if
30th,
that's
first and second.
Be on the lookout for the Charlies. They're going to be dropping. You go to dragginbags.com. So dragginbags with a Z.com. You can even drop a code, Big Asp.
Big
If
Asp,
you're listening to this.
12.
Big Asp 12.
Yeah, we've got, like I said, we're dropping multiple designs too. We're dropping multiple.
Is that when we're
designs
dropping the
for
Big
it, so
Asp
there'll be-
ones too?
No, we since we haven't. But we need to finalize. I know we finalized the designs, but we need to finalize. Like all I did was the Power Dragons is all I'd done.
Yeah.
The Dirty Dragon and this other one. So we need to talk about what we want to do.
Okay.
Series wise.
Oh yeah.
And then we can drop those whenever. But we
Cool.
need to make sure we understand what series we want to drop, and then we'll drop those.
Cool. Well, we'll chat about that now.
Charlies are dropping this week.
Hell yeah. So go out. I'm telling you, if you guys,
excited,
if you're looking for just a little something, like you already have some hybrid carpet you like, you know what I mean? Just try it out. It's a different bag.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to give it a whirl. It's a great one.
And there's nothing like getting a new set of bags.
Yeah,
And your
something-
guys' packaging, by the way, I have to give you kudos because
Oh, yeah.
like it takes it to the next level. It feels like you're getting like a nice pair of shoes or something. You know what I mean? Like it's more exciting to open up. You know what I mean? Just with the nice box and everything. It looks.
I think he's gonna
He's
show
gonna
us his
hold it on.
box.
Oh, if you're watching that,
Showed us his BBC.
I'm telling you,
before.
it's nice.
Man.
Love it. It's nice.
At this point, you got to order 2 sets to get the boxes, just because of the packaging that we mail them in.
Done.
But we'll have the boxes. Obviously, any of the events we're at, the boxes are there. People buy them, we give them the box, and then anybody that orders a couple of sets gets stuff in the box. So we're trying to make it somewhat of an experience when you.
We
order
were
something
stacking
versus
boxes
just
in
open up.
California.
Yeah, we were.
We were stacking boxes in California.
Cube stacking, baby.
We made that beautiful little pyramid.
Fell down about 4 or 5 times.
all
Hey,
good.
it's all right.
It's fine.
It's all good.
All right, folks. So we'll let you guys. We'll let the folks go at home. We'll have Dan hang on with just a minute. But I hope you guys enjoy the episode. We'll be back next week with more audio gold. And as always, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later.
Recording stopped.